What is going on, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can see me. It's Friday. I know we haven't done one of these I don't think we've ever done one of these on a Friday. Maybe we'll see. But I am super excited because we are going back to our roots on Shades of Purple and doing an interview, expanding the gaming community, learning about someone's gaming journey, learning about how we're similar, how we're different, but at the end of the day, we're all brought by our love of gaming. Let me say hello to chat. I see, hold on one second. Now my internet's not been working right, but Rouster, I see you. Ambi, I see you. Sickle Games, what is going on? Joe, I guess it's Joe. Joe has new branding. Lala Lunikins. I actually have been following Lala Lunikins, y'all. We're gonna try to bring her on eventually as well, but I've been following her. Hey, Wit, what's going on? Rabolica, yo, Rabolica, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk. You know, we have people. You're Nintendo Switch fans. You have a Nintendo Switch story this week. I promise you that. Lo-fi, what's going on? Yes. Hope all is going well. I am glad to be here. As you can see below, this episode is going to be about that person there in the title. I first ran across this guy from, oh my goodness, we're going to, I'm forgetting his name, Linza Truth's channel. And then I started following him, and he's kind of one of my morning routines now. But with that said, without further ado, y'all know what we do. We do this, we bring him on. And JonnyRoadKill, how's it going?
Hello. Hi. How's it going? Pretty good.
Going well. So, Johnny, before we start off, okay, you know, we're gonna get all into your gaming journey. You know it. But in your own words, how would you describe yourself?
Oof. In my own words, I would have to say I am. I could be witty. I could be straightforward. I could be blunt. I don't see things in gray. I see black and white at times. It's either this or it's that. It's that simple for me. I'm very simple, as you can see in some of my streams. I don't have all these overlays or anything like sound bites or any alerts. It's just me in the game, and that's it. But that's who I am. I try to be. I sound sometimes like I'm angry, but I'm really not. It's just my accent. I'm from New York City.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, from New York City.
But you don't live here no more.
No, I moved out of there back in 2021.
Oh my god! So you were part of the Exodus?
Yeah.
Did you go? You went south?
I went south. I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, but it's not too. North Carolina's not bad.
Yeah. No. I love it down here. I've been wanting to move down here since 2008. But
what? What's in North Carolina?
I had family here, and it got to a point where I was going through a divorce up in New York, and I'm like, I need to start over. I want to start over. And it was during the pandemic, and I was like, let me just get the hell out of here. My job allowed me to stay remote.
Okay.
So the office is in New York, and I worked and lived down here. So they approved it, and I took advantage of it, and here I am.
Well, oh my goodness. What part of New York are you? Because we have a couple Rousters from New York, Simpleton's from Boston, but he wants to be a New Yorker. Cherryman's New Yorker. So like
I'm from the Bronx.
I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah, I'm from the Bronx.
All right. The Bronx. Okay. Yeah. Cammy and Cherryman are from the Bronx. So if they come by, y'all can do your little Bronx.
Fine. Yeah. I'm from the Bronx. Yeah. I say Mario. I don't say Mario.
Are you serious?
That's how I pronounce it, Mario. Everyone corrects me. My daughter corrects me. She's like, Dad, it's Mario. I'm like, no, it's not. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're just gonna refuse to do it. There's no E.
I refuse it.
There's no E. There's no E.
It's the way I pronounce it. The same thing with mozzarella. You hear what I just said? It's mozzarella. That's how I pronounce it.
Muzza?
Yeah, everyone's like, no, it's mozzarella. I'm like, no, I pronounce it as mozzarella.
Here's the thing, like you know how it's pronounced, and you refuse to do it.
I refuse to do it because it doesn't come out. It doesn't, even though I'm talking naturally, it doesn't come out. So
mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
I never heard of that one, y'all. Mozzarella.
Yeah, so I was on YouTube the other day, and I found a short of this guy from New York in the Bronx, and he was like, oh, this is how we do a sandwich. You know, you put some salami, pastrami, and mozzarella. And then I just rewinded it, and I sent it to the wifey, and I said, look, listen, and learn, and leave me alone.
Oh, my goodness. So, I just want y'all like see how he sounded? He sounded super rough and aggressive. Like, I just want y'all to know, like this Johnny Roadkill is definitely like one of those like hardcore New Yorkers right there. Moots.
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh, goodness. The Bronx too. A Bronx tale. Man. All right. All right. Well, one question. We're gonna get this started. We're gonna get this started. One question I have, the entire chat has. What is Johnny Roadkill? I'm dead serious. I'm dead, 'cause I remember there was this. I was on your stream, and you were like, "Purple, just tell him Johnny Roadkill said you could like stream," and then you're like, "They're gonna be like, who the hell is Johnny Roadkill?" And I was like, "Exactly." They're gonna be like, "Who the hell?"
Yeah. Okay. So the story behind Johnny Roadkill, the name, I had a different name before. And the name had the word the, like THEE, and then it had my real name. Now, my real name is Hispanic. It's a Hispanic name. Now, when I used to stream online, it was the, and then it was that name. And they were calling me Mexican. They were calling me all these racist things on stream. And I'm like, what the heck? So I changed it to Johnny Roadkill. So Johnny Roadkill, I used to play a lot of wrestling games in the past.
Okay.
And then I created a character. And I remember for some reason, I always liked the name Roadkill and then the name Johnny. I always liked this. I was like, let's just put it together. And I created this character named Johnny Roadkill I don't remember. It was it was in WWF at the time, No Mercy for the Nintendo 64. And then Johnny Roadkill just became a thing in every character. Right now I have the new wrestling game and Johnny Roadkill is created. And that's where Johnny Roadkill came. And I'm just like, people try to get me to change my name. I'm like, no, it brings up, it's an icebreaker. It brings up a topic like, where the heck did that name come from? Roadkill? And I'm like, yeah, Johnny Roadkill.
Like, so it's a wrestling. So we have Cowboy. He'll probably come by maybe sometime today, but he is a huge wrestling fanatic, and he has the cowboy persona, And so, do you have a persona with Johnny Roadkill? Like,
a little bit of my real self is Johnny Roadkill. But I don't want to say it's an act, but a lot of it's more of like I'm actually an introvert, to be honest with you. I don't like being around a lot of people. I don't like being in public. I don't like talking to people too much. But for some reason, when I go live, it's like a different personality that comes out. It's that side of me that I don't let out a lot. So it's like half me and half isn't me. It's like another character. Do I in real life, I'm a bit more, what's the word? I don't hold my tongue. I'm a bit more blunt in real life. On stream, I can't be that way because you got to be sensitive and to whoever's watching you, because there's certain things that you can say that can offend someone. Do I border the line? Yeah, sometimes. You could ask, who is it? Who's here? Lala's here. Bunny's here. They know how I talk. They know how I am. They know me in real life, out of stream. So we talk in Discord and everything like that. So I do border that line. I guess for me, I got tired of being sensitive to everything. And it's like, speak your mind. My streams is everyone's opinion is welcomed. Doesn't matter what you are, black, white, gay, not gay, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what you are. Your opinion is welcome. You have to respect each other. That's all it is. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. But if we could leave at the end of the day cordial and happy and still laughing, that's what I want. That's what I've been wanting. But yeah, to go back, yes, half me, half not me.
Half you, half not you.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you started today. It's like you're like, it's either black or it's white. It's half you, half not you. All right, so that's it, y'all. He's always liked the name Johnny. Mm-hmm. So we've had some pretty solid Johnnies in fiction, right? Johnny 5.
Johnny 5. Yeah.
What happened? Why don't they
don't remake it?
They can't remake it. That's what I'm saying. But I guarantee you, they will try. And some of y'all in chat are like, "Who's Johnny 5?"
That's batteries not included. Look it up. Wait, is it? No, that's short circuit. Batteries not
Yes,
included is another one.
yeah,
It's
short
an
circuit stuff.
alien one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're both, but they both came out around the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's like with that time where, like, movie studios would, like, copy each other, and you
Right.
would have, like, one, no, Johnny Robot's the one that got, like, beat up.
Yes.
Yeah, like, they
His name was Johnny 5.
Johnny 5, yeah, Johnny
Johnny
Ro I
5.
said yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But he got beat up. Yeah.
and then you had who else? Who else during that time? Johnny Quest?
Johnny Quest. There was a lot of Johnnies.
There's a lot of Johnnies.
lot of
I'm trying
Johnnies.
to figure out why you picked Johnny.
Yeah, and I don't spell Johnny with an H.
No,
There's no H.
yeah, like, I had
It's
to redo the title because
Yeah.
it's Jonny.
Why? Yeah. I removed the H.
Why?
It's just to stand out, to be a
You know,
little
I
different.
don't blame you.
Yeah.
John was, like, one of the hardest names for me to spell because, like, how do you spell, like, think about it, how we learn English, at least John, that is a very
Mm-hmm.
awkward pronounce. So if there's any Johns out there, I have
Yeah.
nothing against your name, but I don't understand why Jonathan is Jonathan and John is John. So Johnny,
Exactly.
I agree with you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we no more Johns with John. No, we
No,
don't.
get rid of it.
Get rid
Get
of
rid of
the
it.
H. You just added a letter to your name. No one knows. Like, why? Why?
Why? Just get rid of it.
If you're a John in chat or you know a John in chat, and I mean someone named John, not like someone who's like, that's my John, like someone named John. Let us know why that is. All right. So there we go. There we go. It's got a little bit of wrestling persona, a little bit of his real name. Sneaky Snake 108, Johnny Fanta. Oh, wait, that was
Yeah, Danny
Fanta.
No, Danny Phantom. Yeah, that's Danny
Oh,
Phantom.
I know a Jonathan. What? You know a John? See, that's ridiculous. Just too many letters.
Too many letters.
There's too
I
many
agree.
letters. There's letter waste. Like how there's like, product waste. That's letter waste.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason. There's no reason. John Nathan. That's what that looks like. John Nathan.
John
All
Nathan.
right.
Yep.
All right. So we do this thing on the channel when we talk about people in their gaming journey, and everybody has this. Everybody, if you're a gamer, you have this, okay? And that is, we have an earliest gaming memory. Earliest gaming memory. Like, so for you, what is your earliest gaming memory?
My sister bringing home the Atari 2600.
Oh, he's aging and dating himself here.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm actually old. I'm older than a lot of people think.
That's what I say.
Yeah. That was my earliest one. She had Pac-Man. And I remember playing it with her, and I hated it. I hated Atari with a passion. I hated the controls. It was too stiff. I hated the one button. I hated it. And she loved it. She loved it. And then she came home with the Nintendo, the NES, with the Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And that was it. That was my game. I was not good at it because I think I was about 5, 6 years old around there. And she was really good at it. I was not good at it. As time went on, I was playing it. We were getting all these games, and that's my earliest memory. Was Duck Hunt, the double game that came with Duck Hunt and Mario. That was it.
The Mario one. The
Mario one. Yeah,
the Mario.
We might be talking about the same game, but yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know anybody who would say Mario. I don't know that character, but
well, now you do. Now you know someone.
Oh, sure. It sounds a lot like that's it. I was talking about Super Mario Brothers, and you're talking about Mario. It must have been.
I'm talking about Super Mario Brothers.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. He's from the Bronx. They sent him something else up there. Clearly. All right, so we got Atari. You hated it though.
Hated it. It's an ugly looking system, terrible graphics. The cover art was amazing on the games, but then when you play it, it's just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. This
That's
is
how.
literally JonnyRoadKill was console warring before there was another home console. He was
Yeah,
going in on Atari. He's like, "The
yeah.
controller sucks, your
Suck.
cover art sucks, your gameplay sucks, everything about you sucks, Atari."
It does.
We He has no respect
None.
for the company known as Atari.
No, none. It was
That's
terrible.
actually I'm okay with that because we actually have not gotten that type of feedback. Most people will be like, "Atari," and it's like their gaming credentials, they'll put it really behind because they, like, know Atari. You're like, "F that company.
Yeah.
F what it stood for." I'm
Mhm.
glad that it went bankrupt,
I
and
am glad. I am glad.
like, wow.
Remember Atari Lynx? Remember Atari Jaguar 64-bit? Okay. No, it was
No,
not.
he is
It
going
was
in
not.
on the entire company. It's
It
not like
was
a
not.
generation. He's taking it everything. He's like, "Done, done. Screw Mountain View, California." That's where Atari's from, I think, Mountain View.
I think it's from over there, yeah.
Yeah, it's like over there.
I think it's over there. No, it was terrible.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Okay, okay, alright. So NES came,
Mhm.
they saved the gaming industry. You're enthralled by both the Duck Hunt, Super Mario Brothers, and again, I know if Rousters out there, Crow Resin's out there, you know, I know y'all every single time we talk about that thing, I still think the light gun is like space age technology, in my opinion. Like we know how I feel about this, y'all. Like the light gun, space age technology. You cannot convince me. I still don't understand what y'all are talking about with the light. I seen the YouTube videos. Doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense either.
It doesn't,
It
right?
doesn't
It
because
doesn't.
the screen goes black for a split second, and then what you're shooting is white, like a white square, and then it comes back. I don't understand how it works. I don't
I
understand how it
don't. They've
works.
sent me two different YouTube videos on this. Like literally two
Doesn't
different
make
YouTube
sense.
videos. This is like y'all want to know like conspiracy theories, like where you're like you're lying to me.
Mhm.
Go watch a YouTube video about the Atari gun and listen to people who talk about it, and you're like, you literally have skipped several points of logic in your explanation. Because you're right. I get it. I get the screen goes this,
Mhm.
but if I point the gun over here and I can shoot the bird over here, that's what blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, no one
Yeah.
can explain this to me. Like, how on an old TV,
Yep.
like you can maybe convince me on like a smart TV nowadays, like because it
Mhm.
says smart, like my mind's like, oh, it's smart, of course.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna convince me on one of these old TVs. Like,
Mm.
I'm talking like before USB, like USB wasn't even thought of,
No, there
right?
was no we still had the, what was that? It was the gray little box, you screw it in the back, something like that, and then
Yeah.
or you put these 2 little prongs.
Yeah, it gave you it was that
Yeah,
one.
that's what it was.
It was before like the red, yellow cable,
It was
like
before that, yep.
it was before that.
It was
And so,
before
like,
that.
and then you would put it up, and they gave you the 2, like you're saying,
Yep.
that you could do, right?
Mhm.
And you're telling me that that could
I don't know.
does it
Nintendo just finds a way to innovate and
space age
innovate and innovate and innovate.
space age technology.
Yeah, the way
Uh,
they do it.
I don't know. So, I'm totally with you on that one. So, all right, so NES, you're into gaming now. Like, you're
Mhm.
like, you love it. Um, this next question, I have seen it divide families. I've seen it bring wars to an end. This next one can either be a divisive answer, okay, or it can be one that brings people together. All right.
Okay.
Favorite NES game.
Whew.
Yeah, see,
Uh,
you see what I'm saying, right? You're like,
yeah,
"Oh my goodness, this is a lot of weight on your
yeah.
shoulders right now," you know?
If I have to pick one,
That
if it's one, it's Super Mario Brothers 3.
oh my goodness, I would agree with you if it was Super Mario, but tell us more about this one. What did you like about this game, this Super Mario 3?
Oh, the Super Mario Brothers 3. It was first introduced in the movie The Wizard. If you guys have never heard of that movie with Fred Savage and the little redhead and some little kid. Yeah. I remember seeing that game because I played, Super Mario 1, and then I played Super Mario Brothers 2. And a lot of people did not like Super Mario Brothers 2 because it was completely different from the first one. It was at the time we didn't know it was actually taken from another game, Doki Doki Panic, I believe it's called. We didn't know that. We were just like, this is a completely different direction. And my friends were like, I hate this game. What is this game? And me, I'm like, I love this game.
Wait, they said this on they said this for 3?
No. This is for part 2.
You used part 2. Okay, so
Yeah.
you love part 2.
Yeah, I loved part 2 until part 3 came out. And then when part 3 came out, I saw it in the movie The Wizard, and I'm like, what the hell is this game? This game looks amazing. What is that flute? I want to use that flute. I want to teleport somewhere. So then it finally came out, begged my mom to buy it. She bought it for me, and I loved it. We had the little booklet where it tells you all the secrets and everything like that. And I still remember all those secrets in my mind. But yes, Super Mario Brothers 3 on the NES. We're talking about the NES. We're not talking about the Super Nintendo. On the NES, Super Mario Brothers 3, hands down, is my favorite.
Say favorite NES game. That's a solid one. I mean, you're going later in the generation to pull this one out, right? No, I think it's super solid. I still know how to get the first flute. Like you go to the level, then you go to the white rectangle, and then you kneel down for 3 seconds, and then you're gonna fall behind it, and you're gonna go back and pull out the flute.
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what you're talking about. You got to go a little further to the right, and then you go behind the black screen, and
Yeah.
then you hit up, and then you
there
get
we
it.
go.
But you're almost there. You're halfway there.
I would have got it. 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 I would if we were playing it, I would have got it. Okay.
You see, but Bunny just said it. Super Mario Brothers 3 is the best Mario.
It is. I mean, whoa! But you're saying the best one overall?
I don't know if we're gonna ask this question later on, but I don't like 3D Marios. I'll play them, but I don't like them.
Oh my goodness! We're gonna have to dig into this. You
Yeah.
know, this is actually we'll see if we get to it. We'll see if we get to it.
Yeah,
Let's
if
see
we get to it.
All right. So Super Mario 3 favorite. So would you say you're a platformer at this time, or because you're mentioning Mario, you're not mentioning a lot of other NES classics here?
No, so I mean, I actually, if it was only one, if we're choosing, my favorite top one is Super Mario Brothers 3. If you want other classics in there, I love Double Dragon 2,
Okay.
Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2. Those are other good ones. Contra, the original one.
You have to. Yes.
Castlevania. I just beat Castlevania recently. Finally, after 20-something years, I beat it. Yeah, I like all those classic games. Pinball. Remember Pinball? There was like a pinball game.
There was.
Yeah, I like that. Rad Racer. I loved Rad Racer with the 3D glasses. I hated the Power Glove. It wasn't so bad. It was terrible.
Wow, that's a lot of people have like fond memories of Power Glove.
Yeah, I don't like the Power Glove. I used to use it, and my friend was like, "Hey, you want my Power Glove?" And I took it, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it." And I didn't even use it to play. I just put pencils in it and pretend I was Wolverine the whole time as a kid. So that's what I would do. Yeah, so I loved all those classic games. The Legend of Zelda, of course, the original. I still play that from time to time. I love the retro gaming.
Yeah,
for me.
and it's interesting when you explained yourself. You didn't. I was gonna like say, well, he streams retro games. Like you stream like, and Jeff Janakby's in chat. He streams like usually like PS2 era retro, but you stream like
everything.
Yeah, you kind of go far back. You go back into the catalog there.
I go back. I mean, you know what it is for me is the retro gaming. There's reasons why, and I'm sure we're gonna get into this later on. I like the retro gaming because it brings me back as a kid.
Okay.
At that time, things were simple. Life was simple. Yeah, we were kids. We had our parents taking care of us, but We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have PCs. We didn't have the internet like the way we have it now. We didn't have any of that stuff. And life was just so much easier with just the colorful graphics, the colorful colors on the screen, the flat 2D surface, and the little sound bites and music that just it just brings something. It just brings joy to me. And again, I know we'll get into it later, but that's why I stream retro games on top of other reasons why I stream retro games. But I don't know, like I'm gonna follow your timeline, however you want to run this.
Definitely. You know when I think life started going to, you want to know where I think things started getting complicated? We thought it was like an innovation, but looking back, this is when everything started going downhill. Like where life just got complicated.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Go ahead.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Electric pencil sharpeners. No.
Yes.
You know, like that is like when it happened.
Yes.
Like, there is something about standing up and having to do a pencil sharpener like that.
Yeah.
You know, like that, and it was in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know how it got in the wall. Like
it was screwed in. They were
screwed in the wall, and
yeah.
you had to stand up, and it had like on the side, like the different shapes you could put the pencil in. Like there was like different, you know, pencil shape, like how big the pencil was. And then all of a sudden, it's like it like happened over a summer.
Yeah,
it's literally like you had pencil sharpeners, and then it was like this electric thing, and it was always the same electric one when they first came out. It was like this beige looking thing, and it had like this plastic thing at the bottom, and you would have to empty. And I just think the lessons learned at the regular pencil sharpener, you can't replicate that with an electric pencil sharpener. And from that point on, we tried to electric pencil sharpen everything in our lives.
Yeah. Yep.
And
as a kid, so I like to draw. And I like to have a manual sharpener, and I'll do it myself.
How do you do it?
And the reason why is because I like to get a certain point of it. With electric sharpener, you just you can't get that point that you want. So I don't really use it. You know, I mean, for me, I realized as a kid, I will go outside, I will go to the park, I will have fun, I will play sports, etc. Not a worry in the world. Right now, I dare you to leave your keys, leave your cell phone in the house, and go walk down 4 blocks without you panicking. Of oh God, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? And you run back. I dare you to do that. I dare you to do that. You will start panicking.
That's it.
Guarantee.
That's what I said. We've electric pencil sharpened our life.
Yeah.
We electric pencil sharpened our life. And then to make things worse, we then create mechanical pencils. Mm-hmm. You don't even do it anymore. You're like,
I hate mechanical pencils.
Yeah, because because they don't feel like anything.
No, I used to use it as if I'm like stabbing myself or putting a needle in it, and that's what I would do it for. And then they would break all the time.
Oh my goodness! Mechanical pencils. I think they signaled. Like you could probably talk about life, like the history of the world through pencils. By the way, you can't tell. I put a lot of thought in there. You know what mechanical pencils also signaled?
What?
How do you play pencil break with mechanical pencils?
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
You can't.
It's made of plastic. You can't.
You can't. You can't. And so that was like, look, it was like you can't even do that. Now, granted, by this time I was like in middle school or something, but regardless, like,
yeah, you can't.
Gosh. Oh, Rudix is mechanical pencils are the best. Rudix, that's because you're from Canada and you don't remember. You don't remember the days where you had to go up, sharpen your pencil, and then instead of doing a math problem, you played pencil break.
Yeah, and eventually you end up with a tiny little pencil. You're like this.
That's character. That's
on your hand.
Though. That builds character.
It does. What I mean? It really does.
You know, question. Oh, we got a question for JonnyRoadKill. If you fail, you have to leave the show. All right. Okay. But 2 classic games in NES. Have you played Master Blaster and Guardian Legends?
Yes, I have.
Whoa.
Yes, I have.
Whoa.
I played them both.
This is a retro gamer,
I
Cowboy.
have. I played them both.
Oh my goodness. And thank you for the donation, Cowboy. Thank you so much. Cowboy, you're gonna love it. I told you, JonnyRoadKill. And how your mama knows is Cowboy. Uh Cowboy, JonnyRoadKill's name is his wrestling persona.
Yes, it actually is.
So yeah, so like that is like a cool little thing. I'm from Canada and we do that too. Go, Mel, you gotta go talk to your fellow Canadian Rudix. I remember the pencil sharpener. A nice metal pecan. My God, y'all are no. Now we're talking metal mechanical pencils. Not. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. All right. So NES. After NES, do you go to Sega? Do you go to Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo.
You go Super Nintendo. No Game Boy in advance. You're going.
I had a Game Boy in between and then after that it was I went to Super Nintendo. I've stayed in the Super Nintendo family, and then that whole console wars started happening. And I was one of those kids that I was a Nintendo fanboy. I fought for Nintendo. I died for Nintendo. Whatever it is. I was a Nintendo fanboy. But as a kid, I never admitted it. There was something about Sega.
Oh my
that
goodness.
intrigued me. It was when I saw my friend had a Sega Genesis. He had both of them. My friend had both of them. I only had the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo.
He had parents like that.
He had parents like that.
I didn't have parents you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could tell like the
Yeah.
kid had like both versus the kid. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things going on.
Right. So I was just exposed to Nintendo. That's all I cared about was Nintendo. Next thing you know, I went to my friend's house and I see this little blue thing running on the screen. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I see this black console. And it wasn't the Generation 3, I think it was, a Generation 2. It was the one that had the red on it. And I forgot what it said, 16-bit, Sega Genesis, something like that. It was the older model. And I'm like, what is this? And then I saw the Sonic, and I'm like, and I played it. First thing I did not like was the controller. I did not like the controller. I did not like the 3 buttons.
Controller fan.
Yeah, I do not like it. Hated it. But I loved what I was playing, but I did not admit to it. I was like, no, this is terrible. Sega Genesis sucks. But in the background, I'm like, wow, Streets of Rage looks good. Oh my God. Sonic 2? Sonic 3? This is amazing. It was just like blowing my mind, but I refused to get it. My mom asked me one time, would you want a Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo? And I said Super Nintendo. So I went with Super Nintendo. And I don't regret it. Now I have a Sega Genesis through the Nintendo online service.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love all those games. Vector Man. I just love it.
Wow.
I loved it. I was blown away by it. Shinobi. I was like, wow, this is such great games. Great games.
And
so,
you did not let yourself, like, you had to say, I didn't like it. You're like,
no, I did not show that side of me that I was excited. I was like, they were like, look at this game. And I'm like, it's all right.
You're like I know, obviously you're like, whatever.
But inside, I'm like, oh my God, this looks amazing. He's so much faster than Mario.
He was faster, and he could do this like loop, like going up. I don't know why I thought that was like so like defying physics. Like
it
that
was
this loop.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, what? That's weird. But it's like,
it was.
I don't know why. Like, yeah. But I guess it was right, because if he didn't have enough speed, he would have dropped. So it was like game engines, like mind blowing.
Yeah, and the words that they used was like, they were always saying 16-bit blast processing. What the hell's blast processing? That was not even real. You know that? That's not real. That was made up, a marketing word made up, and it convinced our little brains that this was better than the competition. Sega does what Nintendo don't. That's what they would say. That's the marketing.
Wait, so you're saying potentially teraflops started with?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. All that.
Oh no! Anytime I hear people talking about things, I'm like, you don't even understand what this is doing.
No.
Like you have no idea. Like you have no idea. But okay. All right. So secret. You had this secret admiration for Sega, but
Hmm.
you played Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right. So Super Nintendo's there, you know, and I think Super Nintendo's an interesting system that or just that generation
Yeah.
that doesn't get credit for it really starts to introduce like a different type of gameplay. Like if you think about it, fighting games become a little bit more accessible at this point. They're not
Yeah.
really they're NES. You start to see certain racing games really starting to be a little bit different.
Hmm.
Obviously, we see what did in the platformer space. What type of gamer are you at this time?
At that time, I was a platformer playing Mario, playing Donkey Kong Country at the time.
Uh,
Then I got introduced to Street Fighter was in the arcade, Street Fighter 2
sure.
and 1 was in the arcades, Mortal Kombat. I used to go to the arcades and that's where I used to play the Street Fighter games. Once they ported it over to the Super Nintendo, I was able to get one and I started becoming a fighting fan, a Street Fighter fan, and that's all I played. I just transitioned to Street Fighter, Street Fighter, Street Fighter, and eventually I go back. But it was just fighting during that time, a lot of street fighting during that time.
All right, so you're really into like the fighting game scene at this
Yeah,
point. Yeah, there's a lot of I remember a lot of people were like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter,
yeah.
right? And then so same question, like what would you say favorite SNES game?
Super Metroid.
Really?
Super Metroid.
Wow.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
the reason why is because I tried playing the original Metroid on the NES, and fun fact in my streams now, I've been playing the Metroid series.
Yeah, that's your I started
Yeah,
last week you started playing the Metroid
started
series.
playing them. So I just beat Super Metroid recently. I'm playing Super Metroid, Metroid Prime 2 right now on the original hardware of GameCube. See, here it is. There's a controller with an actual cable on it. I played on the original hardware. It was Super Metroid because when I first played Metroid for the first time on the NES, I had no idea what the hell this game was about. I'm like, what is it? I'm a little spaceman shooting in this planet. What is going on? There's these blue doors, pink doors. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't understand the game whatsoever. As I got older, Super Metroid came out, and I remember seeing a commercial for it, and I was blown away with the cinematic, the music, and I said, I'm going to give this a chance. So I saved up my allowance, I bought it, and it was my first game I actually completed it, beat it. I even 100%ed it one time when I was younger. Now I can't do that. I have no patience for it. I just want to beat the game. Let's move on. I beat it at 61%.
Hey, that's gonna get you the story. It gets you the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. It got me the story, and I was happy with it. Everyone knows I am not a completionist. I am not a speed runner. They call me the old man speed runner because I take my time with these games.
No, that's
And
what
I'm
it's meant
lost half the
for.
time.
It's meant to be like, I don't know, like for me, gaming is like it's like the best way I can explain it's like art. Like that. I'm gonna try to appreciate it. And that's why I'm critical of certain games from like it's like an art perspective, not just like visually, but the narrative. Like I put a
Yeah.
lot of emphasis on that because I'm like, I am doing this instead of reading a book. And I think there's tons of still really good books out there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I am giving you this
Hmm.
time that I could be using something else.
Yeah.
And because I'm not just a fan of like tech demos. I'm just
Right.
not. It's just not. Some people are. Some people really like the tech, and I don't. But for me, I don't. Like I like leave me with something I can think about. And
Hmm.
so I Metroid. Okay, so you're getting excited.
Yeah. And again, it's that feeling of that, it's that nostalgic feeling. Like people, it again, that's why I play retro games. So Super Metroid, what I love about it, it's not just the gameplay, the graphics, but it's the story behind it, the little cutscenes, the way they actually used the hardware of the Super Nintendo at the time. They used I forgot what sound they used, but the sound chip that they have, but they have mode 7 in some of it. It was very like cinematic for its time, and it told the story. It flowed well, and it was a bit challenging. You gotta like, okay, I need this in order to get this. I just loved that. And as a kid, that was such an accomplishment for me. When I beat it as a kid, I was like, wow, I actually beat it. And I looked at my Metroid game, the NES, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna go play it. I'm not
Oh,
playing that one. So
it's hard. I mean, it
it's
established,
hard. It's really
yeah, it
difficult.
established the entire genre.
Yeah. So Super Metroid was my top one. Donkey Kong Country is the second one for
Yeah.
me. That's my second favorite. Donkey Kong Country 1. I never played part 2 until recently. I beat that. And I got to go with Super Mario World.
Okay.
Um,
So
and yeah, those are my top. Legend. It's funny. Legend of Zelda. Link to the Past is not one of my favorites.
A Link to the Past, I mean, it splits the Zelda community. Like, some
Yeah,
people think it's one of the hardest ones from,
it
like,
is.
and then and it's, like, almost too hard to some
Yeah.
people. It's kind of before, like, the 3D ones, but it is probably the more cinematic of
Hmm.
the earlier ones, right? And
Yep.
so, but it does split the community, I feel like.
Yeah. So
So
that was my next system, was the Super Nintendo. I still didn't go to Genesis after that.
you're stuck. So, all right. So we see you're repping the
Hmm.
N64 right now. You're repping N64.
Oh no.
What?
Okay. So that's where the story turns.
What's going on? PlayStation.
So my friend had a Nintendo 64, and everyone had a Nintendo 64. All my friends had a Nintendo 64 at this point. PlayStation came out. And my mom asked me again. She goes, "What do you want?" And she goes, "Do you want the Nintendo 64?" And I say, "You know what, Mom? No. I want the PlayStation." And she says, "What the hell's a PlayStation?" and I showed her. So we got the PlayStation. We got a couple of games. And guess who was the popular guy in the neighborhood? Me, because I had the PlayStation.
Oh my goodness. Really?
Yeah.
So this was around the time, I saw PlayStation come, and at this point, like, I knew Sony, like, I just thought it was weird that Sony had a system coming out,
I found it weird too.
because I was like, yeah, that's like the Walkman company,
Yep.
like, or the boombox. What do y'all know
Hmm.
about that? No one has those anymore, but, like, that's what it was to me.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I was like, "What is that?" Um, and then I just, like, the games on N64, like, to me, were very, I mean, they're very iconic, but okay, so
They
you're on
are.
PlayStation. You're on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So, you're going down the Metal Gear. I get, like, let's see, where are we going with PlayStation?
So PlayStation, my first game, it was not Metal Gear, because Metal Gear didn't come out at the time when I got PlayStation. My first game was a wrestling game called WCW versus the World, something like that. It had Sting on the cover. Sting's a wrestler. In WCW days, they had him on the cover. I also had it's not called Extreme G. It looked like F-Zero, but on PlayStation. That's what it looked like. I
Interesting.
forgot what it was called.
That's a racing
Um,
game.
it's a racing game. It's a futuristic, like a F-Zero, but futuristic racing game. Eventually, I ended up getting, as time went on, I ended up getting more games. Marvel versus Capcom, well, Street Fighter versus X-Men came out at the time. I was really heavy into RPGs on the PlayStation.
Okay.
I transitioned to RPGs at this point. Final Fantasy VII was my favorite. I bought that. It's funny, fun fact about Final Fantasy VII. I had a third-party memory card. It was orange. It was not an official memory card. It was a third-party memory card. I didn't have money. I was a kid. So I saved up whatever I could. I bought the cheapest one that was there. So I used it. 3 days later, it erased my memory. So I played it again. 3 days later, it erased the memory. Every time I got a little further, it erased the memory. So I just gave up, and eventually I saved up and I got myself a regular memory card, and I beat the game. But Final Fantasy VII was one of my favorites. Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX. But I was really into RTS games. Not RTS games. Is it RTS? Real-time strategy? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, real time. Which one? Just give me the game.
Like Final Fantasy Tactics, like that style.
Yeah.
Now, there was a game back then. It was called, I don't know if you know this or if anyone in chat might know this. It was a game called Vandal Hearts.
Vandal Hearts. See,
Vandal
I'm a
Hearts.
PlayStation person, so
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
it's so good. The original was excellent, had a great story, and then they came out with a second one, even better story. The graphics weren't the greatest, but the second one improved on the graphics, but it was pretty violent. Like when you kill someone, the blood legit splattered. Like, psh, and I was like, holy crap. But the game was amazing. It was amazing. PlayStation. And then Street Fighter and all that fighting games, racing games, the Need for Speed games. But yeah, I still didn't get a Nintendo 64. I still didn't get it. So we'll get into that.
So your PlayStation. So you make the pivot, and you've given no one's mentioned a couple of these games. We have that kid Tony says Drive 2.
Driver,
Uh,
yeah.
you've got Twisted Metal in here.
Twisted Metal 2 was my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, so we have a couple your PlayStation brethren here.
Mm-hmm.
No, so all right, so you're in a place, man.
Yeah.
That's such a weird, because I was like, if I think about iconic, but PlayStation people feel, I don't know, it's that whole idea of like CD versus cartridge. There's so many
Right.
things
I
here.
agree. It was different. It was different at the time. It blew my mind at the time because you had like Sega CD, which was terrible, and then PlayStation. But I'm like, let me give this a shot. I still didn't get a Nintendo 64. I didn't get it. I did end up buying one eventually, but as time went on, the Sega Dreamcast was announced, and then the PlayStation 2 came out, which killed the Dreamcast. At this point, I was working at Toys R Us in Times Square, and I worked in the video game section. It was called the R Zone. Ooh, fancy. And what was always, there was the three big ones. You had PlayStation on the left, Xbox in the middle, and Nintendo on the right.
Where was Toys R Us in Times Square? I'm just curious, because I was in here. I was in New York.
Where the Gap is.
So
Right in the corner?
it was like in Times Square. It wasn't like
Yeah, no, that was the flagship. Yeah.
It was like in Times Square.
It was in Times Square. So where the Gap is now, Old Navy, whatever it is there.
Yeah.
That was it. It had 3 floors and everything. A big Ferris wheel. It was insane. It was insane. Yeah. So I'm working there, and I only have a PlayStation. And a PlayStation 2 is out, the Xbox is there, and the GameCube's there. And what do I buy first? Out of all three, I don't get a PlayStation 2. I get an Xbox. You know why I get an Xbox? Because I'm behind the register and the TV screen is placed trailers of games. And what comes on? Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell comes on the screen, and I was blown away by Splinter Cell. And I said, I'm buying this giant box. I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to invite my friends over. And I loved it. While my friends still had a memory card. So I was like, I don't have a memory card. I have a hard drive now inside.
Oh my goodness, look at you.
Yeah, it was. And then everyone started getting, because, it started becoming famous, the online.
Yeah.
That's when things started changing a bit. But to go back really quick, you mentioned something about the Super Nintendo days and the Sega Genesis days, that it defined our generation, my generation. I'm assuming your generation might be my generation. I identify as a 35-year-old forever, so that's my age. No, I'm not
35. Why 35?
I don't know. It's just I'm an adult, but I'm still could be a child. I still could get away with certain things a little bit.
Oh my goodness! So we'll take a little segue here, and then we're gonna go back. Okay, like I always say this, like when I talk to certain people, like your 30s are like, especially like 35, like that 33 through like 39.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of, in my opinion, the teenage years of adulthood.
Yes.
You're no longer like when you first come into like the workforce as an adult, you're gonna get like little pay raises, and like we're gonna make you like a senior analyst, or we're gonna do second lieutenant to first lieutenant. It's like you're moving up fast. You think you're doing something, you're like, oh, I'm gonna take on the world. And everybody's like, oh, you're the future of the workforce. But when you get to like your mid-30s, you're no longer cute and young. They're like,
you're not.
You've been around now to where, like, you've seen certain friends all of a sudden like they're like execs, but you're not, and you're like, what the hell I'm doing wrong? But you don't realize what's going on behind the scenes with those people.
Yeah.
But you're not senior enough to be like F this
Mm-hmm.
company. And now you have like real world problems. Like your parents are getting older. You have like I don't know. So 35 is an interesting one for you to like for women, like our bodies really start to
You
change.
start to change. I know.
Really at this point.
You know what it is? Is
The
that
one chick say like I let me go to 35. So it's like
you know I identify as a 35-year-old because people when I stream, people are like, I always say, oh, I'm an old man. And they're like, you're not old. I'm like, no, I'm old. And they're like, no, you're not old. I'm like, no, how old do you think I am? You guys take a guess. And they always say 35, 33. So I'm hovering in that range. I can't pull 25 anymore. I can tell you that. I can't pull 25. My back hurts. I have a hip problem now. I'm an old man.
As long as you're not like I go to the restroom every 30 minutes. Like that's
no.
That's you're like
that's when I worry.
That's
you know,
you're not there. Like that's when you start doing that. That's when I'm like, yo.
We were having a conversation. In fact, it was with Lala and Sneaking Snake. I think it was yesterday, and I was telling them the truth. And this is part of me, who I am, and this is how I am on stream. You know, one thing I always say is, you know, the donations come in or memberships come in, and I really appreciate it. And whatever comes in as donations, it always goes to video games.
Right.
I would never, ever. It's never gonna go to my kid's college fund. My kid is not going to college. that's the joke. That's the joke. No, he's gonna go to college. I hope he does. But yeah, I'm not paying
not
for
on
his.
your dime though. You're like, look,
Not
I
on my
paid
dime.
for studies. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah, you see them. This is what you want it to be. No way. You know what? I'm gonna have him grow up with the same anxieties that I grew up with. I'm gonna give him the video games that I've played because that's what defined me. My anxieties is this playing. What was it? It was Donkey Kong Country, and I'm like, this is where my anxiety comes from. This is where it comes from.
Oh my
Honey,
goodness.
do you see this? This is why I'm the way I am. Don't leave me. You know.
That's trauma. Trauma.
It's trauma. It's trauma.
Oh my. All right. Well, okay. No, it's interesting. You say like you said 35. I feel like you're working because that's like legit middle management underpaid because it's like, yo, like you take care of all those people. I don't want to do it. Like you need a job. Like it's a weird one. You don't have like the seniority where you're like getting headhunted. It's weird.
It was weird. Yeah, I was getting headhunted a lot during that time. I still get it on my profile.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So generation, we're going back. Sega, Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So during that time, I realized as I was playing, and I said it already, but as I was playing these games and going back to play my retro games, I started to realize why I'm the way I am. These games define who we are now. If you're a gamer, you know, everything you do in life defines who you are later on. And I have to say, like, there's certain anxieties that I think about because of these games. You know, the wifey, she's always like, why are you like this? Why do you always like, you think 10 steps ahead? You always like prepared. And I said, you don't know what we've been through as a kid. You don't know. The games that I've played, no, you can't do that because that's going to happen. You do that, that's going to happen. That's, you know, go this route, and then I guarantee you, you'll be okay. And of course, I turn out to be right. But if that generation, I believe, gave us a lot of anxiety in life.
No, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to understand why. I guess the reason why I never trust my friends is because Falco betrayed Star Fox.
Boom.
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 Like, wow, that was therapy. Like 10 years.
And you know, Luigi wanted to betray Mario.
I know. It's like,
you know, he did.
This is impossible. You're gonna betray me. I'm gonna betray you first. No.
Yeah, but that's what was the point I was making. The retro gaming, I do believe, made me. I'm gonna speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody. It made me who I am today.
It's fair.
You know, and other things in life, of course. But yeah, and yeah, but stream retro. Stream retro. It's fun.
Stream retro, so he can relive his trauma.
Yes, I love it. I love it. You know, it
is a thing. It's a thing.
It is a thing. I mean, the reason why I stream retro. Okay, so I'll give you a quick history of my streaming career. I started off on Twitch back in 2018.
Okay.
And I was only streaming like Call of Duty, Battlefield, those type of games. That was it. That's all I streamed. I didn't stream anything else. I didn't know nothing about the streaming world. I didn't even show my face. I didn't even talk. I just the gameplay. Eventually, I started talking, and people were like, "Oh, we want to see what you look like." I'm like, "No, I'm good." Eventually, I started getting that confidence. I'm like, "Okay, I'll get a camera." And I had like the PlayStation camera was very blurry in a little circle. It only gets like this part of your face.
Yeah.
So it was really bad. And during that time, I've always had a passion to create content, to entertain somehow. And there's so many things in my personal life that I have said, and I'm like, man, there's so many jokes I could say that I think would be funny. What if I just take that online and stream it and just talk? So as I started doing that, as a streamer, I think everyone goes through this. You lose that confidence. You start doubting yourself. Can you even do this? Do you even have the time? Life was different back then for me. My job, I would go in the office, take the train. I didn't have no time. I didn't have a schedule. I was married at the time, and that was rough because she didn't like video games, and it was just like, how do you find the time to play a little bit? Because the moment you turn on, they hear that power sound go on. Hey, I need you for something. Oh, great. What do you need?
Oh, no.
Eventually I stopped. Once I moved to North Carolina in 2021, that's when I really started focusing on my streaming content. But I didn't know what to stream. I was back into the Call of Duty, the Apex, and all that is fun. But the problem is I took a step back and I'm like, everyone is streaming this. How am I going to stand out from the rest of the group? What's going to make me different from anyone else? And if you know, I'm sure you know how Twitch is. YouTube, I feel YouTube is a lot better than Twitch. Discoverability was a big thing for me. And I was only on Twitch. But if you go to Twitch's category of Call of Duty and you're looking for JonnyRoadKill, you're not going to find me because I'm going to be at the bottom with like 4 viewers and 3 of them are probably me, and it's just a sea of streamers trying to stream the game. You're not going to sit there scrolling till you find someone. So I started streaming on YouTube. I couldn't figure out the algorithm, and YouTube is a lot more tougher. You got to have a good thumbnail, you got to have a good title, tags, all these things come into play, and YouTube has a very specific algorithm that only caters to certain audiences, and it'll put you in that category. The problem that I was having is that I was playing different games. Am I a Call of Duty streamer? Am I an Overwatch streamer? Am I this? And I was just playing those games again. As time went on, I switched to horror games. That was a little bit that I started seeing growth there. I started meeting people. I started trying different time zones. So the best time for me was always the mornings. That's why you see me stream in the mornings. I start at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Now the reason for that is because that's the time that I had before work. I didn't have time after work. So I was like, let me stream in the mornings. Then I started building an international following. I have a lot of people from the UK that follows me on YouTube. And as time went on, I'm going to shout him out. I have a friend of mine. He lives in the UK. His name is Sir Bane. Him and I were talking on Discord, and he goes, dude, I feel you're all over the place. He's a Pokemon streamer. He goes, I feel you're all over the place. He goes, why? He goes, I went back to watch your content. He goes, you do better with retro games. He goes, why don't you just focus retro gaming? And I'm like, I went back, I looked at the analytics, and I'm like, he's right. It was better. The numbers were better. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's focus just retro gaming. This was last year. Because last year I was all over the place. I was on YouTube. I was on Twitch. I was jumping back and forth. You could ask Tony. You could ask Lala. You could ask Bunny, Snake. These guys, they know I was all over the place. So I said, you know what? 2025, we're going to focus on one platform for now. And that is YouTube. I'm going to figure out this algorithm. I'm going to figure out the titles. I'm going to figure out the thumbnails and everything. And now my numbers have grown. What
Wow.
was it? The other day, I think I was streaming Super Metroid or Prime 2. I had like 47 viewers watching me at once. I've never had that many before.
No, yeah, I mean, I think you're doing pretty good with 20 when I see you stream it,
Yeah,
but 47 on YouTube, 47 is like
on
legit.
YouTube, yeah. And
That's
it's like
legit.
it's it's the retro gaming. And what it is about the retro gaming is that you have people that can stream Call of Duty. You have people that can stream one specific game, like I don't know, what's the new game that came out, the remastered Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion just came out. People could just stream that. But guess what? You're just stuck with that. That's all you're doing is that. That's the content you're building. With retro gaming, I have a whole library of games I can go back to. And guess who chooses the games for me? My viewers.
Yep, you're on it. You asked us.
I ask you guys, what do you want me to stream next? I give you a list. You guys vote. And then here I am. Metroid. That's what I'm playing now. Sometimes I don't want to play it. Like this game, I don't want to play, but I do it because that's what they want to see. And then I start as I'm playing, I just start to say things. Things just come to my head. Comedy starts to come out. And let me tell you guys something. When I am lost, I am lost. The way my face is when I'm lost, that is real. There's no acting. These guys could tell you. I'm always like, wait, no, I went the wrong way. No, whoops, gotta go back. Like it's all real. It's completely real. So I love retro gaming. And then what I love about retro gaming with my streams is as I'm getting new people, I'm getting older people that are my age.
Yeah.
Around my age, I remember these games. And there's a lot of them that says, my God, you just brought back great memories from my childhood. And that's what I want to see in my streams. Just bringing back. Just come back. Come here. If you had a bad day, come to my streams. I'm going to make you smile. Whether it's me being silly, me doing something dumb, or something that just like, oh my God, that is funny. I remember that. That's why I stream the retro games, because I feel it brings all of us together.
100%.
You know, and it also is bringing new people in, the younger generation. Like, oh, what game is that? Like, oh, that's this game. And like, oh, I've never seen this before. Well, because you're young. You don't know.
No,
Welcome to my world.
Legit retro to them.
It's retro to them.
Like for them, it's like legitimately like, oh, this, like in their mind, like this.
They're
is
blown away.
Yeah.
They're blown away.
It's like the cool thing though. They're like, you know.
So
cool.
yeah, that's where my main platform is YouTube. I don't stream on Twitch anymore. I have Twitch because there's friends that I follow and I support them, so I still go to their streams. But I stream on YouTube, and I am starting to stream on TikTok. And those numbers are doing really well because of the retro. People are coming in because of retro.
It's growing.
It's insane. It's insane.
So for everyone who's, because my chat, a lot of us are content creators in chat. Some of them super successful. You know, some of them just beginning out and stuff. But we do have a question from Robolica. So Robolica is a Sims streamer. So if y'all are into the Sims, go check out Robolica on Twitch. But she has a question. Have you ever played SimCity for SNES as a retro game?
I have. I did not know what that game was about. I rented it one time from Blockbuster because the cover art intrigued me. I'm like, what is this? It looks like a city, but it's not a city, but it says SimCity. And I tried it, and I wasn't into Sims games at that time. Didn't like Sims games, but I did like SimCities. So as I got older, I got a PC, a little older in my teenage years. I started getting the Sims, the actual Sims game. I got that first one. I really enjoyed it. I don't like the Sims now, the way they are. I like the old ones.
And I actually, because she's a Sims.
And let me tell you something. Jonny, my other half, she loves playing Sims. She loves it. But she has this mansion. I'm like, whoa, did you work for that? No, I put in the money code, whatever. I'm like, what the heck? Can you just delete the game, please? Why are you playing the game like this?
Oh my goodness.
But yes, I have played SimCity on the SNES.
There you go. Well, I played SimCity on Windows 95. I think so. Is that the same? Like
that is the thing, yeah.
That's the thing. Like I do remember that. Yeah, no, back in the a while ago. So, but coming back to your streaming thing, like I think, well, whatever you're doing is working, right? And I think like, and I just want to tell you that, like because you stream early enough for when I'm on the train.
Hmm.
So there's like two streamers who I usually can catch in the morning. You and there's another person named Crazy Louie. Y'all are both like you stream usually around the same time, and that's when I try to come in and see you all streaming. And but y'all are doing different things, so I always like see your chats going off and everything. So it's
Yeah,
cool. It's a good way to wake up.
it is. And the thing is too, it's you got to have a schedule for streaming, because you got to have a personal life too. You know, um, I'm with someone. I have a kid. Um, I have a stepdaughter, who's also my kid. And you got to find time for these individuals. And I realized the mornings for me at 7:30 in the morning is perfect for me. I know it's a lot for a lot of people to join, but it's perfect for me because I hit the UK folks out there. I hit everyone is already awake, and then they come in and they enjoy their times. And those that are awake already, they just come in. I do stream every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And at night, I only stream Monday and Friday nights. That's it. And my nights are not as successful as the morning streams for some reason. I don't know why, but it's almost, for me, I like it like that. That is not as crazy because I'm already tired of work. I'm tired of the day. So I kind of just want to like play and just make content, streaming, but make content and still try to hit an audience in the West Coast now that they're getting off of work. Yeah, so it's only 2 days. This weekend I will be streaming tomorrow and Sunday because my schedule was out of whack this week. But I try to stick to the schedule now. I know Bunny, if she's still in the chat, she would say to me, Johnny, can you create a schedule, please? So, but now I do that's my schedule. It's the mornings. And when our daughter is not in school, because I'm the one that takes her to school. So fun fact about that. The school, I could take them to the front side and I would get there. They would go in at 7:15. Or if I get there early enough at 6:50 in the morning, like right before 6:50, I could get them in the back of the school. I get them up early, her and her,
so you can game.
So I could game. That's what I do it. And then her cousin, I pick up her cousin.
I would hate you. It's like I am literally here early, so my dad can game.
Yeah. So they don't know.
Oh my god, this guy.
They don't know this. Her cousin gets in the car all grumpy and angry. He goes, "Why do you always get us up so early?" And I said, "Listen, this is the time that we go. You can go with your mom and you get to school late. Or you can go with your aunt and she'll get you to school right on time. It's your choice. I don't care. Either way, I'm starting my stream at 7:30.
Oh my goodness.
You make the choice. I'm sacrificing my old butt to get up and take you guys over there.
This is what he does, and your stream's showing up. Your audience is showing up. So I just want to say welcome to all of them, and also thank you, Ambi, for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you, Ambi, and for anybody subs, get you early access to my videos and sometimes exclusive gameplay with Purple. So thank you, Ambi. But yeah, no, I would hate you. Let me just say, like, but I was in band, and so we had to be at school. Band started at 7, so
okay, so you have to be there early.
Yeah, like it was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's what I do. I take them to school because I do want to stream. It's my thing. It's my hobby. I don't play a lot of sports like I used to. I don't know if I could play basketball anymore. I love basketball. I used to play every Sunday. I do have a hip problem on my right side. My right hip is a little twisted, like bent in. And the doctor showed me the X-ray. I was like, oh my God. And they said, did you play a lot of sports as a kid? I said, yeah, I played a lot of football. So I was always getting hit. So they said, oh, that could be it. So and this is my gateway. This is the way I'm able to just release my stress. Is playing video games. It's just a way to get away from real life and just take me to this world where I'm going to get lost, but I'm going to enjoy getting lost.
Yeah.
You know, if someone comes in with a bad day, hey, let's just, we don't have to talk about it, but just come here and listen to me. Enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see, if it made you smirk, my day is made. That's my day. You know, that's it. I made my day, I made your day, and that is it. That's how I am. You know, it was at the beginning, it was very discouraging when you first start off as a streamer, because you don't have an audience yet. You don't have the algorithm yet. People don't know you. So it's a bit discouraging at the beginning because you're alone in the streams. You're talking to no one.
True.
You know, but as time went on, I realized, don't give up. For those, if there's any streamers in your chat right now and you're feeling that way, don't give up. Keep going. And you know what you got to do? Just talk to yourself. A lot of the times, if there's no one in my chat at the beginning, you guys will come in, you guys just see me talking. Talk about the game. Just talk. That's all. And talk to yourself. I talk to myself all the time.
I think we all do. And I want to say thank you to Wise Impact with the super chat, or with the sticker, super sticker. I don't know what that one's called, but thank you so much, Wise Impact, with the super sticker. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And I see you there, Robolica 750. Yeah, I was there. More school start. Like, yes, I was there.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like band. I did not like band. Like, there's some people who are like, I love band. I didn't like band. No.
Yeah.
My dad was, this because my dad and my brother were musicians. My brother's a professional musician, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. If I ever can bring him on, he's a professional.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I should. Maybe
I think you should.
He's been on before. Y'all just didn't see him, but he's been in chat before. No one knew it was him.
Yeah.
But I was like, what? Why did you call yourself that? But yeah, no. So great words of advice. You know, picture your niche. And for anybody, Jonny also does modern games, because you did do South to Midnight. Right. So it's not like always just the retro. You do some modern ones as well. But no, definitely that is like kind of your niche, your retro, and it kind of spans multiple consoles, multiple generations. I love this idea of Metroid. So Metroid Prime 4 coming out for SNES. So you know, question. You were originally a Nintendo person, right? You have a Switch, right? Because that's how you play some of your retro Sega and some of the others. Switch 2. What are you looking for? Like first of all, did you get a Switch? Do you have a pre-order for Switch 2?
Yes. Yesterday.
I
went to GameStop. It was the worst experience, but yeah.
You really?
Yeah.
I told her, like, I was talking to Wit in chat earlier today, and I was like, there's a story with Switch 2. If you went and got a Switch 2, that you have a story this week. Like, everybody has a story. Like,
yeah.
So,
it was an experience. I mean, so the pre-order, it was supposed to open at 12 o'clock. I got there at 11:30. There was already a line. And I already know how I am. I don't like to be around a lot of people all the time, especially people that want to talk to me. And if I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. Like, just don't talk. Just leave me alone. That's how I am. So I parked the car and I look at the line and I see the individuals. I mean, they're all young. They're all young kids.
Oh, really? You had everybody was older in my line.
No, this was all young kids, like right out of high school, or some of them skipped school to go pre-order. There was some older ones, like in their maybe late 20s, early 30s. And I hate what I'm going to say is going to sound terrible, and I do apologize. It was just a bunch of nerds on that line, and I'm just listening to the conversations. I'm like, I'm a nerd. I'm a huge nerd, but I'm like, I am not like this. And then one guy just kept talking to me, and I have my headphones on, and he's talking to me. So what game are you gonna get? I don't know, the bundle. Oh, so do you have the Nintendo Switch? Yeah. So what's gonna be your favorite game? And I'm there like, shut up. Just stop talking to me, please. I don't care. I don't care what you're gonna get. I didn't even ask him, and he's telling me his whole
He's
life.
lonely, Johnny. He's lonely.
Don't talk to the other nerds. Don't talk to this nerd. Don't talk to this cool nerd over here.
He's like, oh, that guy. I want to get to know that guy.
Yeah. Oh, and then I get inside the store. Okay, first of all, the store is supposed to open at 12. Of course, it's GameStop, so something goes wrong. Their machines went down, so they're rebooting, went down, rebooting, went down. Finally, they started letting us in 5 at a time. We get in. And then we get on the line, and then I might have gotten the last Switch 2 bundle with the Mario Kart.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So the guy said, oh, he's letting me do it, so whatever. Now, I worked at Toys R Us. I know about these warranties, about putting warranties on these store warranties, whatever it is. So the guy goes, hey, do you want to put the GameStop warranty? And I said, no, I'm good. And he was like, are you sure? Because, if something happens, then, you're going to have to go through Nintendo, and then that could take a while. And then I say, oh, hold up right there. So you're telling me I already have a 1-year warranty with Nintendo? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, so I'm good. I don't need it. Can you just ring me up? Can you take my pre-order money? And I just want to get out of here. Please. I just want to. And then you see the guy that was talking to me with a big smile on his face. And I'm just like, can I just leave? Please just give me my receipt. Please. And then I asked him, I said, when does it come out? He goes, June 5th. And I said, are you going to open at midnight? He said, yes. And I said, do I have to be here on that line at midnight? He said, no. And I said, thank God, because I will not be. And then I'm going to get it when no one's there.
So your experience is like so opposite. So I wrote this in Discord. Like I was up at 12, like whatever, Thursday morning. So 12 midnight, trying to get this thing. By about 2:30, I gave up. I was like, done. I so many issues with Target, Best Buy. Like, I'm like, screw you, Best Buy. I was on your side, and I'm no longer your friend anymore.
Right.
And Walmart, I was like, everybody else was getting it from Walmart. Purple was not getting it from Walmart. So I was like, all right, let me try GameStop. And where I live, it's really weird because like I don't live in the city anymore. I live kind of out of the city now. And there's 2 GameStops. Like one was going to open at noon, one was going to open at 10. And 10 is the one in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
So like I get there and there's all these cars. Okay, so I get there around like 8:30. All right, it's going to open at 10. There's so many cars. I'm like, oh great, like I'm screwed. So I go in, and ton of people. Like I did not know this. Like I knew this, but I didn't know this. Like. Go to the mall like an hour and a half before it opens. There's one group of people who is running that mall, and that is senior citizens. So there's like an army of senior citizens like walking this mall. All right, like I'm like, so I'm like, okay, like it was weird. It was weird. I don't know what it what's going on, but they're just like going, and they're moving fast too. So like I'm like, so I eventually get to the mall. And fortunately for me, there wasn't that many people in line. And we were all like kind of shocked at each other. I was like, this is it? And they're like, yeah, this is it. Like, and eventually by the time the store opens, like probably 30 people, but it was all older people.
Yeah. Everyone
was older. And there was like a really sentimental part of it. So I was talking to the guy next to me. I wasn't a grumpy gamer. Here, like I was actually friendly to the people online. So like I'm talking to this guy, and he says something really strange to me because like I had stayed up all night, and he's like, "Oh man," like he's very reminiscent about this, like staying in line and talking. Like he's like, "Oh man, I really miss this," I'm like, "You miss this?" Like I was like, "I don't like this." He's like, and he stops me. And he's like, so you don't like talking to people and like hearing their stories about gaming? And then I realized like he had a point, because I did, like, for me, I actually enjoyed hearing so many different types of gamers. Like, and maybe that's the difference, because these people are older. So it's really interesting to hear their perspective.
That's different.
It
Yeah,
was.
I had all young kids
No,
around me, and it
no.
was
So it was cool. I got it. I got the bundle. They actually did get me for the warranty. Like
oh,
he did, but he said it was only. He's like, well, he got me for the membership.
wait, the membership?
There's a GameStop membership
Oh,
that
yes. Okay, I have that too. Yeah. It's
I
like
didn't
15
have
a
it. I
year.
didn't have that. I didn't have it. He's like, do you want
It's
this?
actually pretty good. That's actually pretty
Yeah, he
good.
said it gives me like $5 every month.
Mhm.
And he's like, by
Yeah.
the time the Switch comes out, you would have already gotten like $10 or
Yeah.
something.
It's
So I was
actually
like,
pretty good.
so I was like, all right, that's not too bad. And then I got the warranty because I mean, he was proud. He was the district manager. He let me know he was the district manager. And I was
Yeah.
like, this was like his time to shine. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I was like, all right. So that was I have stories for people in line. There's like seven
Yeah.
different people, and each of them is like a different story. But that was my
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, I mean, I got it yesterday.
Oh, nice,
I
Audi. Audi got it.
you
Nice.
got it. I wasn't going to go for it, but I said to myself, you know what? I'm a streamer. If I have the money, I could do it. And I saved up the money. I do have the money. And I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it and do it. And I did, and I got it. I mainly got it because of Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah. Well, you're not Donkey Kong.
No. So
Interesting.
Abe, that falls in line with the 3D Mario games that I'm not a
All
fan
right,
of.
so talk to us. Why? What's up with 3D? Why do you not like the 3D?
I don't think it's Mario to me. I I'm so used to the flat 2D Mario games, and it's just easier for me with the controller. When I played Mario 64, I just did not like it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why can't I hit I keep missing hitting the box, whatever it is. I just didn't. And I know Mario 64 is a cult classic. I know it's an amazing game, and it is. It's a really good game. But I just couldn't get into the 3D Mario games. Eventually, I got a GameCube, and I said, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try a 3D Mario game. So I bought Mario. What was it called? The one for the GameCube.
I don't know. I was already in the
I
army.
have it. I still have it. Whatever, the GameCube one.
Right.
He had like a water pack on his back. It was okay. I still didn't enjoy it. And I said, I'm giving up on 3D Mario's. Then I bought the Nintendo Switch. And my friend was like, dude, you gotta try Mario Odyssey. I'm like, I hate 3D Mario games. I don't want it. I don't want to play it. But because I'm like, I should get a 3D Mario game. I should give it a shot. And Mario Odyssey, I loved it. I loved Mario Odyssey. The controls were so much better than the Nintendo 64. I love the hat throwing. Loved it. I don't really enjoy open world games too much. I play them. I don't enjoy them too much. I find them a little boring after some time, and especially streaming it. People love seeing that. There's an audience for it, but for me, I feel like the viewers are getting bored watching me. I don't know. Explore. Oh, it's gonna take me an hour to get from this side to this side in Red Dead Redemption 2. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good.
We have some Red Dead Redemption super fans. So,
But here's the thing: I love Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 1 was my favorite. One of my favorite top games ever. I love Red Dead Redemption over GTA. I don't play the GTA games. I think they're a bit over the top. I think it's just too much. When there's too much to do, count me out. Count me out. That's where these guys can tell you. I want to play. You know how long I've had the game Days Gone? I bought the remastered. I had it for the PlayStation 4. I paid the $10 to get the remastered edition. I've had it since it first came out on the PlayStation 4. I've started it like 3 or 4 times because I get distracted. I'm like, oh my God, they talk too much. Oh my God, I don't care about your love interest. Who cares? Oh my gosh, she's picking lavender flowers. You're making me go through this? Why is this in the game? Just tell her.
oh my God.
Just say, hey, remember when we used to pick lavender flowers? Yeah. But you know what the game does? It actually brings you into that memory, and you're walking down the lake or whatever it is, picking lavender flowers. And he's there reminiscing. Hey, like, what is this? Why am I playing this? Just
Oh
get
my
me
god,
to the
he's
damn
not.
game.
Lo-Fi Monk played this.
Mario Sunshine. Uh-huh.
One of our Lo-Fi Monk he was in earlier. He's a big Days Gone. I'm gonna have to ask him about because he like left the game like so deep and blah blah blah, and like you're now like
It's a
screw
great
that.
game.
Hate the memories. I don't care about character development.
I don't care about it's just when it's just too much. When it's too much. The Last of Us. The Last of Us.
You're like you're pissing off a lot of me. I have not played these. I just know how people talk
The
about
Last of Us.
these games.
Okay, The Last of Us Part 1, one of my top games I've ever played. The first one. The second one, don't like it. There's a lot of running around doing nothing. That's how I feel. And I was always finding these little like notes that moves the story forward, but instead of it reading to you, I have to read it. Like I don't want to sit there and read. And then it's not even just one page. It's front and back. It's like page 2, page 3. And I'm like, what? I'm not reading this. Move on. I did not like it. I did not like part 2.
You like straight. So
Get me to point A to B. That's it.
So here's a question for you, because you talked about Mario going from 2D Mario to 3D Mario. You didn't like it, but you you went from a top-down Zelda to a flat Zelda to a like 3D. Like, do you not these other ones like you went from a Metroid, a flat Metroid to a 3D Metroid. You went through like, do you not give the same criticism to these other ones?
I did. I did at the first time when I first played Ocarina of Time. I didn't like it. I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. Oh, the world is empty. Oh, why am I taking little baby steps just to get to the damn castle? It's a lot of ugh. But then I got to appreciate it. And I played it and beat it, and it became my top favorite game of all time. Ocarina of Time. My top favorite. And I would play that.
You recently played this one, right? Like if you recently like because you like know the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was lost a few times. People helped me. But I love Ocarina of Time. It's one of my favorite games. And I will play it over again. Just like the Resident Evil series. Wow. Another top series that I love. So yeah. I know. Metroid Prime 1, I didn't like it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why am I in first person? I want to see her running around. But then I gave it a shot and I loved it.
So I recently played that one when it released on Switch again.
Mm-hmm.
The map threw me off because it is updated graphic, but the gameplay is not updated. And I did not play games during this time. So like my mind is like, it's kind of off for me. And
yeah. I gotta say, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Robolica. You got 1 to 10. How did you like Blueprints? Let me know. She said, "Don't play Blueprints." I
won't play Blueprints.
If you're into puzzle games, Blueprints. But if you're not, if you're like JonnyRoadKill, you don't like this stuff. You are gonna be annoyed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example. So when I first played Metroid Prime 1. I didn't like the controls. I did beat it on the GameCube a long time ago. And in the remastered version, it's so much better. The controls are do I have it here? I have my controller here. So the controls are like a first-person shooter. You move with the camera here. You move the character with this, forward, back, left, right. And then the buttons are mapped perfectly. Metroid Prime 2, it's only on the GameCube. Now the GameCube, you move with this, turn around with this button. There's no this analog stick is not a camera. This analog stick is for to change your weapons and your abilities. And in order to actually turn around, you turn like this, left, right, she turns around. But if you got to hold this to lock on, it's a bit more annoying. And I'm enjoying it. I never played Metroid Prime 2. It's funny because my chat, they were like, play Metroid Prime 2. And I don't have it. I didn't have it at the time. So in the middle of my chat, I looked on eBay and I found the complete copy in the box of Metroid Prime 2. And I bought it live right in my stream. I paid $60 for it for a GameCube game. that came out
Nice.
20 something years ago.
Look at that Nintendo game holding its value.
It does hold its value. It does hold its value.
Yes.
That's why I don't mind paying $500 or $450 for a Nintendo Switch 2. I don't mind paying $80 for a Mario Kart game or a Mario whatever Odyssey 2, whatever it is, because the quality is what matters to me when it comes to gaming. And Nintendo makes really high quality games, in my opinion. In their first party.
Yeah. Well, when Cowboy rewatches this, because he does rewatch it, he is going to comment in there because he says Nintendo does not have quality. He says it has mobile game quality. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean in today's world where like you could stream games almost? I don't know. But I obviously sit on the like if it's something that can capture my attention, like we're talking about blueprints here. It's very simple. It's very simple. Not huge graphics, but there's actually quite a bit going on in that. And I'm like, you've caught my attention. You know what I mean?
It's called Blue Pages.
Blueprints.
Blueprints?
No, yeah, it's I don't know. Like I said, if you're not into puzzles,
I'm looking at. Oh no.
Yeah,
it's a board game, isn't it? It's a board game. It's also a board game, right?
So much more.
It's so much more than a board game. It changes lives and stuff.
I mean, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's simple to understand, but then you get kind of like
it looks like a map, like a top-down view map for a sec. Like it's just at a glance, it looks like a SimCity game.
No, it's like you know what it's like? It's like you take a point and click game, like that. There's a top-down. You're looking at the map, like the map of the place. It's a puzzle game. It's like a puzzle within a puzzle within a puzzle, and in like a first-person, I don't know, type of setting. It's I don't know. Hats off to that team. They did a good job. That's all I gotta say.
Blueprints.
Blueprint. Not Blue Clues. Not
Blue's Clues. No, not Blue's Clues.
First Metroid game. Oh, nice, Audi. And Audi is actually in Japan. So Audi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so if I run into Audi a lot of times, it's usually in the morning. So maybe I might see Audi on your channel because he's definitely a cool dude.
Hopefully, yeah.
It sounds like a lot of puzzles. A lot of yes, it is a lot. It's I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it is. But if you're into puzzles, that's what I tell people. If you're into puzzles,
it depends. It depends what I do like some puzzles. What was that game? The cake is a lie. They used to say, what was that game? Portal. I love Portal. I really love the Portal games. I thought that was a lot of fun.
The one where the person's talking to you?
Yeah, it's like a robot.
The little robot in that one?
Yeah. I loved it. I love certain puzzle games. It's something like that will just, I think it'll give me an aneurysm if I play it. But it's just, I hate to say it's true. I was like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh my God, my brain is melting just looking at it.
Like I said, if it's not you, it's not you. But if you are a puzzle and dress up as Blue Clues and play, I should do some cosplaying.
Maybe you should do some cosplay. Yeah. I did cosplay. I dressed up as Link.
As Link. I was there. I thought that was the first time I came to your stream and I see
I was so embarrassed.
Because I have been talking to you on Lenz's channel.
Yeah.
Like a couple of times. So I was like, okay, it was like a Monday. It's like it is in the morning, right?
It's in the No, it was at night. I did those at night.
Because
it was at night.
It was the same time you were doing the Contra one. It was around that same time.
Yeah.
Like, you're like in this thing.
Yep. I have the.
You're like you were all linked out.
And then the funny thing is, so when I put on the green tunic and then I sat down because I always schedule my streams. I always test everything out before I go live. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, why is it just my face showing on screen? And I forgot because I do have a green screen behind me and the tunic is green. So it was making everything disappear. And it was just a floating elvish looking head. I have elvish features. You know, my eyes, my ears are pointy. I look like an elf sometimes. I'm not. It's true. I mean, I know.
Oh my goodness, that would be such an interest. An elf from the Bronx. I'm trying to think of
Yeah,
the accent. Like,
I'm a cool elf.
cool.
I'm a cool elf. Don't. Yeah. And I'm
Oh my
there, just,
goodness.
fixing my tunic, my little cap, whatever it's
You,
called.
yeah, if y'all want to go see, like, watch. He did it about a month and a half ago. No, about 2 months ago, actually.
Yeah, there's a short. There's a short in my channel. It's somewhere there where I'm like, I think I say I'm a cool elf. Don't get it wrong.
Oh
And
my goodness, it was funny.
uh,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
it's uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable tunic.
you did well though. I knew you were. I was like,
They,
oh, that's creative.
yeah, I'm trying to
Um,
do different things.
no, like goodness. So, I mean, Johnny, we talked about your journey, your retro gaming. Obviously you're getting the Switch to you're
Hmm.
gonna be playing what the Metroid. So if you're into Metroid, Johnny's playing that right now. You talked a little bit about your trauma in gaming and how that has developed you into the person you are today.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
y'all found out a little about me, like the decline of mankind happened during the electric the pencil sharpener to the electric pencil sharpener. That's all you need to know. Once that happened, we went downhill. And so but Johnny, like what are you playing now? What are you looking forward to playing? And tell floor is yours.
Okay, so right now we are playing Metroid Prime 2, Echoes on the original hardware of the GameCube. I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime 4, which there wasn't a release date announced yet,
Mm.
right? There wasn't one. Um, there is a game coming out that caught my eye, is on the PlayStation 5 and it's going to be on PC as well, called, I don't remember what it was called. Lost something. If I find it, I'll send it to you so you get to see it. It looks really good. It reminds me of like a Devil May Cry action style.
Hmm.
But the one game that I'm really looking forward to is Ninja Gaiden 4.
Really? So you're super excited when they showed that.
Yeah, very excited. Especially so when they announced the Ninja Gaiden 2D side scroller. I'm really excited for that. I went back and we played the first two Ninja Gaidens of the Xbox era. I beat those. Very frustrating. And then they announced, I said, I'm doing this because I'm going to play the new 2D Ninja Gaiden. And then in the middle of my stream, someone said, did you just see they announced Ninja Gaiden 4? And I'm like, what? No. I paused my stream and I watched the trailer and I was like, holy crap. I was just so excited. But Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm super, super excited for. Like, super excited for. I'm a huge Ninja Gaiden fan of the Xbox era. I do like the 2D one, the hard ones, but the 2D eras is that's what the one I'm really looking forward to, along with Metroid Prime. I don't like, and a lot of people may not like what I'm about to say, but I do not like the new Legend of Zelda's Breath of the Wild and Kingdom Come, whatever it's called. What is it called?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Like, if you cannot tell, like, I just rolled my eyes at you. Like, if you cannot tell, like, I just was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them. You know
Okay.
why? Because the world is too big. That's why. It's so much. As soon as I started playing it,
It's Hyrule. What are you talking about?
I just, I miss the old school style of Zelda. You go to the dungeons, you do the dungeons, missions, and things like that. When I was playing Breath of the Wild, I was like, okay, I got my little parachute. I got it. Okay.
Glider.
A glider.
Get some
See?
respect.
Sorry. I got the glider. Okay, I gotta climb these towers, and I'm like, okay, where's my first dungeon? Can I get a boomerang? Can I get this? Can I get that? Why am I picking up other people's weapons? Why is this breaking? And it got to a point where I'm like, why am I playing this game?
What? Oh my god. This one is obviously Audi's kind of agreeing with you here. I will just say, like, the thing about, for one, like, the new one is, like, once you get off the Great Plateau, right? Once you get off, like, the the intro area, you can go in and do whatever you want in the game, right? Like technically, you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought the mechanics, the game physics of it were interesting. Obviously, I liked it.
Yeah.
My chat knows Rudigs, who was in here earlier speaking blasphemy about mechanical pencils. He knows I've beaten about 3/4 of Tears of the Kingdom, but now I may go back. I don't know. I think I enjoy stories, and
Yeah.
I enjoy understanding what
I
happened.
like story-driven games. I love story-driven games. South of Midnight, I thought was amazing. The story behind it, the graphics I thought were beautiful. Was it repetitive? Yeah, it got repetitive after some time, but I thought it was very, very good and a very well-made game. Legend of Zelda, I want to give it a shot. It's not something that I would stream. The Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I think it's Breath of the Wild would be hard to stream. And Granted is saying, "Hey, Mystic, what's going on?" Granit's asking, "Is it Lost Soul Aside?"
There it is. Lost Soul Aside. That's it. Look it up. It's a PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation and PC. Lost Soul. I'm looking that up too. I'm making sure that's the right one. Lost Soul Aside. I believe that's the one. Yeah, that's it. It looks amazing. I saw the trailer of it the other day. I was walking by the TV and YouTube was playing, and in a commercial, an ad. Sorry, they're called ads now, not commercials. An ad came on for that game, and I just stopped and I was like, "What the hell is that?" And I watched the whole. I didn't even skip the ad.
I haven't even heard of this.
Me neither. I never heard of it. It just looks really good. It looks like it mixes Japanese type of style of game with Western kind of style. You know how the like Japanese type of style of games is like a Devil May Cry.
Okay, yeah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, and then you have the style of the Western style is like a I don't know, Red Dead as an example.
Okay.
But it's not as slow as Red Dead. But this just blew me away. Like the way the fighting, the story seemed interesting. Everything just blew me away. The graphics. I mean, it could have been the trailer. Maybe they did a good job with the marketing.
Speaking high, you're speaking high of high praise for this. I'll go check it out after this.
Go check it out. It looks really, really good. It comes out May 30th on the PlayStation 5 and PC. So go check it out. It looks really good. I want to look into it. I think I'm gonna buy it. As soon as the reviews come out, I'm like, okay, I may get it. If it's like a 7 and above, I'll buy it if I'm interested in it. Sorry, I got distracted. Where was I going? I get lost in conversations.
The games you're looking forward to, Lost Side, and so
yeah. I said I'll give Legend of Zelda a shot, but I would just play that on the side. I do play open world games on the side, like I'm playing the remember Lord of the Rings, the one. It came out on the Xbox, the PlayStation 4. Oh, what is it called? Mordor. Yeah, that one. I'm playing that one on the side. So I'm halfway through trying to beat it. And I'm going to jump into the second one, War or something. So I do play other games on the side. I don't like to. I'll do it. I don't really like playing with people too much.
Don't like talking to people. Don't like playing with people.
You're just I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like I'll play it. I'll play games. So like Lala could tell you, Snake could tell you. They're like, "Oh, play Repo with me," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll play." But then it's like, I like playing by myself for some reason. And fun fact about that, I have 3 Nintendo Switches in the house.
Okay.
3.
Okay.
So I have my own. She has her own, which I bought for her as a gift. And our daughter has her own. Okay. Now, the one that I got her was the Tears of the Kingdom graphic of the style of Tears of the Kingdom.
The Tears of the Kingdom Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have it back there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one that I got her. And whatever, it was a gift. And then I also got our daughter one, but just a simple one. I bought a used one from my friend. Now, the reason why is because I don't want to share my Nintendo Switch. I don't want to share. I don't. So my daughter knows I'm getting the Nintendo Switch. So she goes, "Oh, did you pre-order Nintendo Switch?" I said, "Yeah, I pre-ordered it." She was like, "Oh, I'm so excited." I said, "Yeah, and I'm only gonna have one. I'm not gonna buy multiple of those. So that'll be the family one." So she goes, "When it comes in, can you give me your Nintendo Switch? Because I have the white OLED one."
Okay.
And I said, "No."
What's your this guy? He gets his daughter up early to go game.
Yeah, get
And
her
then
to
when she's
school.
like, yo, like, hey, I don't want a new one. I just want the one you had. Something to just be sentimental, connect to the dad. He's like,
Yeah,
no.
no. And you want to know why I said no?
Wow.
You know why I
Why?
said no? Because
Why?
she goes, "Why not?" And then I said, "If you can answer me this question, I'll give you my Nintendo Switch." And I go,
This is gonna be hard. What is it?
I said, "Where is your current Nintendo Switch?" And she was like, "I don't know." And I said, "That's the reason why I'm not giving it to you. Because you don't
You
even know where your
you
current one
what
is."
you how long had you been holding that in? How long had you been holding that question in?
Until I got the pre-order. At
Like
least 2 months.
you were like you're just you like you wanted to where's the other one I gave you? And that's all you like
Where's the other one? You know why? Because I'm trying to teach her a lesson that
yes, I can tell you.
she has to learn a lesson. The
Oh my
lesson is
goodness.
the lesson is we spoil our kids. Yes. We want to give them the world. Yes. But I want to teach her responsibility. I'm not just going to spend $200, $300 on a Nintendo Switch for you. You're going to lose it, misplace it. You don't even know where it is. And then what? You just want me to give you another Nintendo Switch, $200, $300? You got to learn how to keep things that are expensive like that. Just things that are expensive. Like take
Our
care of
value
them.
has value.
It
Has
has
value.
value. So to me, it's not valuable for her.
Okay.
She doesn't care for it, And I told her, I said, when you turn 5, maybe we'll have a different conversation. But right now you're 4 years old. You're not. No, she's not 4. She's not 4. She's not 4. She's not 4. She's not 4 years old. She's older. She's 9. She's 9 years old. She'll be 10 in December.
Like eating her ice cream in front of her.
Yeah, that's the other.
Like I have this image of this girl wearing like this, like even 9. I guess 9 is legit, but still, like
She's
I
very
don't know.
smart. She's very smart for her age, and I love her. So we're trying to teach her the value of money. Um, Target, for example. So we opened a debit card for her, a bank for her, and she has a little debit card and everything. And we've all been there. We can't find our debit cards. Now we have the luxury of like pay with your phone or whatever it is. But we didn't have that back then. Life is easier for these kids, in my opinion. And am I giving them anxiety? Yeah. Yeah. But I want them to learn that it's not easy all the time. So the point of this story, we were going to Target, and Yanni is the other half. She's a spender. She loves to spend. And I say, "Oh, I gotta go to Target. I gotta go get some stuff." And she goes, "Oh, I'll go with you." And I go, "Wait, you and our daughter?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No, I don't want you coming." And she goes, "Why not?" I said, "Because you guys spend. I'm only going there for socks. I could go in and leave. I could even browse. And I could say, you know what? I want this game, but I'm not gonna get it right now. It's a want, not a need. You are more like, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this." And our daughter's the same way. So she goes, "Okay, how about if I only spend $50? And I said, "Okay, what about our daughter? Do you know she's gonna want something?" She was like, "Oh, she has her debit card." I said, "Okay." And she was like, "Yeah, Daddy, I have my debit card." And I said,
9 years old, yeah.
9 years old. I said, "Okay, you're right. You have your debit card. You have money." So we're getting ready to go. And I go, "Where's your debit card?" And she goes, "I don't know where it is."
I was on her side. I was on her.
And I said, because I said at the beginning before that, I said, if you are able to find your debit card, you can buy something. If you can't find it, you can't get anything. And we're not buying anything for you. So she didn't find it. She goes, "Okay, I won't buy anything." We get to Target, And all of a sudden, I'm seeing like these little toys in the car. I'm like, whose toys is this for? And then Yanni's like, oh, I forgot I could use my phone to pay for her debt. And I said, that's not the lesson that we're trying to teach her. We're trying to teach her, if you don't have the debit card, you don't have money. It doesn't exist. I made her put it back. They put it back. She didn't get a toy. And I'm there with my toy, my little Zuru toy.
I love the fact. And when I say I am like shocked and like that you taunt her, you troll her. Yeah. You literally troll your 9-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I love her.
Like everything is like a troll. You're like, getting up for my gaming. We're gonna go to Target for just something for me, not you, so you can see me enjoying life. Like everything. Like, I'm gonna have 2 Switches. I can't play them at the same time, but you're not gonna have any. Like,
yeah, but because she loses it.
I mean, it's like capitalism 101. No, I'm joking.
So, as an example, she's my stepdaughter. Her father, her real father, he has that VR headset, the Oculus, whatever it's called. So one day she brought that home, and I see her playing with this $600-700 machine, and I'm like, holy crap, where did we get this from? And I checked my bank account to make sure,
you didn't charge it.
They didn't buy it by accident or on purpose. But no, it was her father's. So one day we moved. I bought a house. We moved into the house, and all of a sudden, I was under the impression that her father gave it to her. He didn't. He just let her borrow it to play. All of a sudden, we're in the house, and we moved in. We just moved in, and he's like, "Hey, where's my Oculus? I kind of want it back." And this and that. And I go, "Hey, where's the Oculus?" She goes, "I don't know."
Seems like I see a trend with this.
Well, like, I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? This thing is like $700. So we found it. It was in the garage in one of the boxes. We found it. Thank goodness. But that's the point. I'm not trying to troll her. I'm not a mean dad. I get her almost whatever she wants. I don't say no to a lot of things. But I also don't want her to be spoiled. I want her to learn that it's not easy. Life is not easy. Right now, the way life is different from the way I grew up. And that's how my mom brought me up. When I would go to the store with my mother and I want a toy, and she'd be like, "You're not getting a toy," but she'll get herself something. Or I'll say, "Mom, where are we going?" She goes, "Where my feet is going. Just keep following me." That's what my mother would tell me. But I don't want her growing up spoiled. I don't want her growing up thinking she could just say she wants it and she gets it. I don't want that. There are kids that are like that. We know kids that are like that, and I cannot stand it. And I tell Yanni, and I'm like, if I don't want our kids growing up like that, I don't want it. I didn't grow up that way. They need to be humble. They need to learn you don't get everything you want. And even as an adult, if you have the money for it, you don't need it at the moment. If it's not a need, if it's not necessary to get it right now, then it's not necessary. Just save your money. If you have $20 in the bank account, don't go and spend your $20 on something. You know what you could do? Hold on to that $20, because when you get paid again, if you get paid $1,000 every 2 weeks or something, that's $120 you have. If you spent the $20, you only have $1,000. That $20 could have bought you a sandwich, with some prosciutto, mozzarella cheese or something, little mayonnaise.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe lettuce, tomatoes. Not too much tomatoes. It makes the bread soggy. But yeah, it could get you something.
You're telling this. So it's interesting you said about your. So my dad knows this. Like, I live with my I moved my mom up. She's retired and everything. And, she taught me just like you, right? Like, it does spoil, like finding things, keeping it, really valuing things. But I'm really into gardening, like right outside of like game, like outside, I'm really into gardening. So I go to a nursery, and she taught me everything. This was just today. Same mom taught me everything. She didn't spoil me or anything. Um, she picks out all these plants, and I'm like, oh man, she's really into it, and everything. This nursery I've never been to, and I kid you, this never happened to me. By the way, I
Mhm.
kid you not. Like she picked out um about $240 worth of plants.
Wow.
Like legit, she was going in on plants. She made me pay for it.
What?
It was $236 worth of plants. She made me pay for it. And it wasn't like joking. I was like, these aren't my panties.
Wow.
These are like these are like annuals. Like they're gonna die. Like she was not kidding. I was like, I thought she was. It never happened to me in my life. I
Yeah.
was like, I couldn't do that when I was younger. So I don't know if that's what you're gonna do to your daughter.
No, no,
But it,
I
like
wouldn't
I'm
do that.
like it because like I didn't talk to her on the whole way home either. I was like,
Yeah.
it was like
You know
I
what?
was like, whoa, what are we doing here?
The thing is with me,
I said,
I could be very tough with my daughter, and I talk to her the way I talk to anyone else. I don't want to talk to her like a little kid. Um, when we first got together, moved in, like she didn't know me because I think she was like 3 or 4 years old, and she's like, she'll look at her mom. She's like, "Is he mad?" She goes, "No, that's his happy face. He's not mad." Eventually, she started to learn my tones when I'm upset about something or when I'm not upset. So she knows when I'm not upset. So when I sound upset, she starts laughing because she knows I'm not upset. So I felt it was one day I'm trying to teach her a lesson of like saving money and things like that. So she has a little piggy bank. And she felt so bad because I was like, guys, can you stop leaving the lights on? Like, it costs money. Electricity costs money.
that is a big one.
So she always leaves her lights on. She leaves the TV on in her room. She's not even in there. And I'm like, oh my God. So I tell her multiple times. So one day she started giving me money for the electricity for bill. She would give me $5 a month. And I'm like, you don't have to give me this. And she was like, no, I want to put in my portion.
What?
And I was talking to her mother and I said, she doesn't have to do this. And she goes, she wants to do it. And I said, okay, I know what I'm going to do with the money. I saved the money. At the end of the month, I made sure she had like $100 or whatever. And then I gave it back to her so she could spend.
Oh, look at that.
See? Life lessons.
Like
Life lessons.
if I was her, I'd been like, why'd you not put it in a interest-bearing account?
Oh, yeah.
Like we could have $62, Dad.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's just like I'm trying to teach her these things. I'm trying to teach her
That's
these
super
things.
good. I mean, no, that's
Yeah.
super. Like is the truth. Everybody talks about the light bill, you know.
Mhm.
Uh, and I don't really care about lights being left on. You want to know what bothers me? People leave air condition on when you're not home.
Yes, that bothers me. Put it on
That
a
bothers
timer.
because that's expensive. That's really expensive.
When I lived in New
You know,
York City, it was really expensive.
it's like you leave.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Or
Yeah.
like you put air condition on in one room and heat on in the other because you don't know that.
Yeah.
That's that. So my goodness, that one. So no, but that's super awesome that she's already doing the light. That's a lesson a lot of people don't learn until they're adults. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
expensive light bill.
It is. And it is. And living in New York City, I think where I used to live, it depends on the building. You don't pay for like electricity or you don't pay for heat or water, something like that. You don't pay for a certain bill in New York City. And it depends on other apartments too here. But once you own a house, things are different. Everything falls on you. My electricity started off at $102 for the entire house. That was a year and a half ago. We're at $219. Yes, it went up $100, but it's like, oh my God, another year is gonna be $300. Another year is gonna be $400. And I have it in one of those where it's like fixed for 3 months. If I use more, then it goes up. If I use less, it goes down.
That's nice. That's
I
nice.
have it that way with the energy company here, but it's just, and again, these are things that you don't realize as a kid because mommy and daddy took care of it. You don't know these things. So our daughter doesn't know these things. She doesn't look at the bills. She doesn't know what I look at. So I'm trying to teach her these things.
No, you're doing a good job. You're
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get it. You're doing like a jerk of a dad, but you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. She has to learn. Life is hard, and I'm gonna make it hard for her so she's prepared for life. So when she moves out and she goes work somewhere, she's like, well, my dad did this. He put out candles at night, so we did not turn on the electricity. No, I don't do that. I don't.
You're like, I don't do that anymore.
Here's your flashlight, honey. Go use it.
Oh my goodness.
If the battery runs out, I don't know what to tell you. Where's your debit card? You got your debit card? Got your debit card? You know where it is?
My goodness. No, that's super good. But she's 9. The fact that you said she's 9, I'm still like, man.
Yeah. But she's very smart. She's very, very smart. And the thing was, with the reason why I'm like this with her is because I was like her as a kid. That's why I'm like that with her. I saw my mom spoiled. I was the youngest kid, the youngest sibling, and my mom spoiled me, and I don't want that for her. And I noticed she is a little, I don't want to say she's spoiled, but a lot is given to her because she was the only child at the time. And I don't want her to think that way. I want her to be humble about things. My streams, for example. One thing I always say, yes, the numbers are growing, but I didn't get there by myself. Those numbers are not because of me. It's because of the viewers coming in. It's because of the connections that we're making with these individuals. And that's why we keep getting return viewers. I didn't do this by myself. There's a guy named Mr. Booty Bandit in the UK. He streams on YouTube.
What a name.
Yep, that's a name. That's a name, Mr. Booty Bandit. He's a funny guy. So he helped me out. Like my numbers, I was when I first started, I was like at 95 subscribers at the time, and we collabed together. We were playing Overwatch, and he was pushing me out. And that's something that I try to do with my viewers, the ones that are streamers. I have commands for them on my Nightbot. So I just put a command like, oh, go check this person out. Go check this person out. So I do that. I do that on Fridays. I try to do that on Fridays when I stream, and I shout them out because they deserve it. Especially those that stream, they deserve it. And again, I didn't do this by myself. Like I didn't. If I did it by myself, guess what? The only person there watching me is me. I did this with the viewers. They're the ones that keep me going. I do gotta say, it is my second job, if you want to call it a job.
It is a job.
It is a job. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work just to everything that I got. My lights, my green screen, the games, the capture card, that all costs money. It's an investment to do that. And it's not just that. It's also an investment of time, getting up early, forcing my daughter to get up early to get her to school or just so I could stream. That's an investment, and it takes time just to get everything prepared, set up everything, make sure everything looks good. Oh, it doesn't look that great. Okay, let's adjust it. It's a lot of work that goes into what I try to do. I got lost. I forgot where I was going.
That's how you know he's old, y'all. That's right there. You cannot replicate that. Like I am just going.
I keep going and going. But, I know where I was going. So yes, this is my second job. If I do have a secular job, I have a full-time job. I start working around 9:30 a.m. Sometimes I push a little more, but I do have a regular job, full-time job. If I were to lose my job today, the first thing that goes away is my streams because my focus is to find another job because I need to provide for my family. Number one is my family. Number one is finding a job to support them. YouTube doesn't pay enough to support our life right now. So that is number one. It's my family, and they always got to come first. And that's why my streams are changed. I used to stream at night almost every day. Now I only stream 2 nights a week because I got to find time to spend time with them.
No, that's fair.
I don't want them to think, oh, daddy's always playing video games. This old man is over there playing video games. I don't want them to think that. So I try to spend time with them, do things with them. And especially at night, we'll watch a TV show. They're watching Once Upon a Time now. I don't know, that Disney.
The ABC one? The one that came out a couple of years, like.
Yeah.
When did that come out? Like a decade ago?
A long time ago. a long
Oh,
time
man, I
ago.
was in ABC was like yeah, Once Upon a Time, you had Revenge. You had a couple of
Yeah.
like then.
So I try to do that, and now I have a son. Um, he's already going to be close to 1, and
Oh,
yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's adorable. He's funny. He looks half like me, half like her. More like me. He laughs a lot.
happy
Uh,
baby.
he's a very, very happy baby. Cries only when he's hungry. Cries when he's tired. He's learning how to sing now. He goes like that. He's
Aw.
very adorable. And the thing is with me, I didn't grow up with a father. I grew up with just my mom and my sister. My sister's older, so I never had a father figure. So that's why you know when I got with Yanni, her daughter, her father's in her life, but it's one of those where every 2 weeks, you
Yeah.
see that whatever it is, they see them every 2 weeks. So it's like I try to be there for both of them.
Aw.
And I told her, I said, listen, the way I talk to you, the way I say things to you, don't think that your brother is gonna get away with it. Like he's gonna go through the same thing, even if I'm in that wheelchair.
You're not gonna be a wheelchair.
You want me to go apple picking? I don't like going apple picking. You want to go apple picking? Let's just go to the store and pick the apples from the store. It's that simple. It's the same thing. I was telling these people yesterday. It makes no sense. Oh, build the memories. Yeah, what memories? Of them running ahead while I'm holding the bag? Is that the memory that I want? You know what? They want me to go apple picking. I'm gonna go apple picking every year. Every year I'm gonna go apple picking. Even if I'm in a wheelchair. They're gonna take me and push me as they get older. I'm gonna be that 80-year-old man in apple picking being
Oh my
pushed.
goodness. Wait,
And don't put me in the corner embarrassed
I feel
because
like
of your
this was
father.
a family discussion was apple picking at the JonnyRoadKill household, and something tells me you lost this battle.
I lost it.
Yeah, you lost.
I
You
lost
lost.
it.
You
So
had to
now
go apple picking.
there's stipulations. Now I'm gonna go every year. And when I'm old, you're gonna have to take me everywhere with you now. Everywhere. And don't be embarrassed.
When
If
he
I
loses,
fart, I poop on myself, I wear my diapers. Don't be embarrassed. You want to go apple picking. Now you don't want to take me to the bar. Now you don't want to take me to the restaurant.
yeah. No, well, and Robolica said apple picking is so expensive. Apple picking is about to be expensive everywhere. Let me just put that.
Yeah.
Let me just
Yeah,
put
that's
that.
true.
It's about to be expensive for everywhere. So, yeah. But such a sore loser you are. You're like, I'm
Very
gonna win this. I'm gonna win this long term.
long
Like
term. I'm a long gamer. Like,
you're
oh,
not.
you guys, what? Okay. Think short term. You're here. I'm over here. I win over here
You're like we're going apple picking every day.
every day. Every day.
Oh my goodness, better to never be in the at least that's my Rouser. Well, you're saying in the gym, Rouser. That's definitely uh, a good thing. But no, well, apple picking, we didn't do that. We did peach picking. That's what
Same
we did.
thing, right? Same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's picking a
You're
fruit.
picking a round object and
It's a,
put it in a basket.
you're putting in a bag.
A bag
A
that
bag.
breaks.
We didn't do the basket. We did a bag.
Yeah, someone says
And
it's all about the experience and the
it
expense.
it's it is it is it was I mean I didn't do it. I did it as an adult with my mom. That's what I
Yeah.
did. And so but I don't like apples. I'm
Yeah, I'm
not
not a
an
huge
apple.
fan of
I'm
them.
not an apple. I like pears. I'm not an apple. I don't it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. I get it. Pears are softer.
Pears are softer,
They're
pears are sweeter,
juicier.
they're
It's sweet.
juicier.
Yes. See?
Apples I never have gotten like the sweetest apple, it still doesn't compare to like the average pear. And so I don't know like when this screw you, Johnny Appleseed. Screw like that's another Johnny, not you, Johnny Roadkill, but Johnny Appleseed. Make this a thing in the United States. You're like, what did I do, Purple? No, I meant like the actual Johnny. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not an Apple person.
Me
Uh,
neither. I don't like it either.
um,
Mm-mm.
my friends are now that I'm adult, I don't do it for the child. Oh my, oh, oh my goodness, sneaky snake, so dark. So dark. So tight.
Yeah, sorry that the conversation went to Apple,
No,
but yes, you
no,
can go back if you have a
you're
bit
no,
of
but
time.
I think you're doing an awesome. One thing it's super interesting, and I have an appreciation for is when parents come on and talk about, their what their kids and their gaming and so forth. And this is kind of the first one where you talked more about not necessarily about necessarily the gaming, but how you're teaching your daughter right now
Mhm.
life lessons, but it's around gaming. It's not
Yeah,
about gaming. So
yeah.
I thought that was very unique,
Mhm.
very interesting, and shows kind of shows like what you're focused on as a parent.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's just you could tell your kids don't do this, don't do that, but it's just they're gonna do it anyway. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
Like right now, where she's on YouTube a lot, and
yeah.
I'm on. We all are. We're all on YouTube, but there's a lot of things on there that I feel she shouldn't be watching. The other day, she's usually on YouTube Kids, but now she's been going in the regular YouTube. And the other day, she was in the car. We're taking her to school. She goes, "Oh, can I use your phone to play music?" And I said, "Sure." So she played some song, on repeat over and over again. But it was a song from a game called Poppy Playtime. It's that horror game.
Yes, I just saw this game recently.
Yeah. So I said, "Wait, are you watching this game on YouTube?" She goes, "No, no, no, I don't watch it. I don't watch it." And I was like, "Oh, okay." She goes, "I just listened to the song." Now the song is very catchy. Fine. So 2 weeks ago, we're laying in bed. She's in her bed. She comes into our room. "I can't sleep." And we're like, "What's wrong with you?" She goes, "I'm scared." I'm like, "What are you scared of?" "I'm just scared. I can't sleep." And then her mother is like, "No, you were watching those videos. We told you not to. So now you're going to have to put yourself to sleep." So she went back. And then she came back. "Mom, I'm scared. Can you lay with me?" No. I didn't say anything. I just stood there playing on my phone, and I'm just like, and then I didn't know what was going on. And then I go, "What video?" She goes, "That Poppy Playtime." And I'm like, "She told me she doesn't watch that." She goes, "Oh, she's been watching it. So now she's scared." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Let her sleep with the monsters. It's fine."
My good, like y'all are like, I never heard this response to this, by the way.
No,
And
they,
it's like you traumatized yourself, you're gonna untraumatize yourself one way or the other.
yeah, yeah. She. I mean, when she was younger, when she was she's not afraid of the dark, but she always has like a crazy imagination. And one time, the way it works, if I put her to sleep and she wakes up, I have to bring her back. But that night, she put her to bed. But there was one night where she couldn't sleep; she was scared. So she woke us up. So I walked her back to her room. I sat her down, and she goes, "I'm just scared." I'm like, "Why are you scared?" She goes, "I saw an ad, and it was like for a scary game." And I'm like, I said, "Look, there's nothing. There's no such thing as monsters. Nothing's gonna happen." She goes, "I'm just scared." I said, she goes, What if they come and get me at night?" And I paused. I looked at her. I took her hand, and I said, "Look, let's look at your room really quick. Where is it gonna come from? Underneath my bed? In the closet?" And I was like, "Okay." And I said, "Really look at your room."
Like logical, how this logical.
And she goes, "I'm looking. I don't know anywhere else. The window." I said, "No, no, no, no. Look at your room. Tell me where the monster's going to come. Is he going to sneak up on you?" She goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Are you sure? Look at your room and you tell me how much trouble I had getting into this room because it's a mess. You're going to hear that
Oh
monster
my
coming
god.
a mile away.
Oh
This
my
monster's gonna turn around. You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna clean your room for you, leave you a bill, and go home. That's what's gonna happen." And then I pretended to be the monster, but I was tripping over everything on purpose, and it made her laugh, and she was laughing and smiling. And then she went to bed.
oh, look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that.
And
Look
I
at
said,
that.
"All right, go to bed. Leave us alone. I'm going to sleep."
Look at that.
Yeah. So that's what it was. That was that was a lesson. Clean your room. No one, a robber's not gonna want to go in
Oh,
there.
the lesson I just heard there was messy room you'll hear the monster, and the monster will trip, and you'll be able to get away. That's the lesson.
Totally.
I
Totally.
That's not the lesson.
No. The lesson is you got to clean your room this weekend. Let's look at the room again.
Oh my goodness.
Let's look at it. Let's analyze what the room looks like. You see that? You see that Lego right there? You see the bruise that I have underneath my foot?
That's what it is.
It matches.
You hold on to things. You hold on. I can sense you're like you wait for the right moment to get her with your your things. Like that's what I'm noticing. Like
yeah,
you're really bitter that she lost the Switch. Now you're bitter about the Lego. I see.
Yeah.
You pick your long term.
It's all about long term. It's all about life lessons. You know, I sometimes I go to the bathroom. My safe, happy place is the bathroom. I sit there and I just think, how can I get her?
The safe, happy place is the bathroom. What you meant to say is the safe, happy place is when you take a crap. That's what you just said.
Yeah, because I'm alone. No one will come in
there.
there.
Know that I know says this. Like, okay.
No one's gonna come. You think someone's gonna barge in there? No one's gonna barge in there.
I don't know. Like I do not know the psychology why every guy I know says the bathroom, that's my happy place. I'm like, okay, it smells like crap. Like it's small. Like but that's your happy place. Like somehow it's a thing to hook up in the bathroom. I don't get what it is with men in the bathroom. Like I don't know. But
it's private. You're alone. You have your thoughts or your phone or whatever it is. No one's bothering you. No one's bothering you. You know, when I'll turn on I finally get a break. I'll turn on my Xbox. The moment I turn on the Xbox or the PlayStation, I get a text message. Johnny, can you come down? I need your help with something. When I'm in the bathroom, I get no messages. I get nothing.
That's why they invented portable gaming. So the guys can take their thing to the bathroom. No one messes with them.
Yeah, I'm going to move my entire office into the bathroom. I'm going to use the bathroom for an hour and a half to 2 hours, maybe 3. Don't come in. Don't come in.
Oh my god. Oh my god. My goodness.
This is this is my life. And I know I'm talking a lot, and it's just letting you guys know my personality. This is who I am.
Appreciate it. I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much about happy place. Like no one's bothering because you like it smells like crap in there. That's why.
Yeah.
You're like, but that's my crap.
It's my crap. It's my crap. Yeah. You think I want to go in there after someone else uses the bathroom? Get the hell out of here. That's disgusting. Gross.
Oh
my crap smells like poopery compared to others. You know?
My goodness. Oh, well, there you go, y'all. That's why I've learned so much today. I will just say this. Like I've learned a ton about you, Johnny. That I think is like your personality, like this this outward. I'm gonna say this, and don't take this wrong. I think like the first time someone meets you, the general you're a jerk. Like let me just say that. You don't
absolutely,
you don't want to talk to them. You're kind of mean. You let them know you don't want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably like pretty snarky. Like usually, like when people are trying to like get to know someone initially, it's very like you try to play the middle. But you're very black and white. You're like, no, this way or that way. Like very like assertive like that. But I think if you get to know you, like you can see the contours. And I think
I'm a nice guy. All right. I'm actually a nice guy.
Okay, but I also have to realize like you're kind of like a native New Yorker. Not all New Yorkers, but a stereotypical New York in a nutshell.
Yeah, it was hard for me to adapt down here.
I can imagine.
Because everything's rushed. Like in New York, rush. Get to the train, rush to work, go home. Everything's rush, fast paced. You go to the store. Here's my money. Give me the item. You're going home. Here, it's not like that. I went to Walgreens to buy a few items, and the guy behind the register would say, "Oh, you having a good day?" "Yeah, I'm having a good day, thank you." I didn't ask him if he was having a good day. He told me he was having a good day. And I said, "Oh, that's good. Oh, so what are your plans for the weekend?" Uh, I don't know. Sitting at home. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to take my PlayStation 2. I'm going to clean it out." And he just gave me this whole spiel. I didn't even ask him. And I'm like, I just want the item. Here, take my money. Give me the item, and I want to go. Just don't talk to me.
This is stop talking. You have like this
Stop.
anxiety of like people are just being nice to you. Like they take you literally when you say like you probably only say hello. You don't say like, "Hey, how's it going?" Because you're like, "I have the worst experiences." They tell you.
You should see my work emails. You know, you ever write a work email where it's like, "Here's the information, da da da, blah blah blah. If you have any questions, please let me know." You ever put that at the end? I don't put that at the end. Why would I put that? Just close it. Close the email. I don't want to answer any questions. Here's the stuff. This is what you need to do. Thanks, Johnny. Send away.
So you're a thank you in advance type. You're like you like in that you're like you tell them what you want. Thank you in advance. Boom.
Yeah, and it's a southern hospitality. I'm not used to that down here. I'm still not used. I'm getting used to it now. I actually, some people, I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing good," but if they start rambling on and telling me about their day that I didn't even ask, I sit there like, this is my face most of the time. One time, one guy went on forever, and I did like that. I went.
You're a jerk.
That's what I did. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
and I put my stuff down, and I looked at Yanni. I said, "This is gonna be one of those days." Wow. Okay. You're gonna have an apple. Wonderful. You're gonna slice it in different ways. I don't care, but go ahead. Keep talking. Keep talking. That's.
Oh my.
I know it's terrible. And I feel bad when I leave. I feel really bad, but I don't want to talk. I don't want to. I just want my item, and I want to leave. That's all I want.
See, I think like how you have to understand. So see,
Watch everybody talk to me when I'm out in the wild now.
The thing is like this, like you have to out hospitality people in the South, because then they'll be like, "Oh, okay," like they get you. But when they see you like grumpy McNuffy over there, like,
but I'm not grumpy. I'm not grumpy. I go in there with
sense it. They can sense it.
Yeah. Okay. I go into GameStop like, "Oh, hey sir, what brings you? Need help with anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm good, thank you." "Okay, what brings you in here?" "Just browsing." "Oh, okay." And I'm just going. "Is there anything you need?" "No."
But you gotta think
No.
about the GameStop person. They've been there 3 hours. You're the first living thing that has come in.
Yeah, I think about that. Still leave me alone. You've asked me 3 times, and I've said no nicely. Now I'm gonna say no straightforward.
Oh,
no, I don't need help. If I need help, I will ask you. But I don't need help. And I'm very friendly. I could be very friendly. Look, I'm friendly now. This is what I sound like when I'm friendly.
Oh my goodness.
It comes across sarcastic, and people are like, "Is he sarcastic? Is he being sarcastic? Is he?" And I'm like, "No, I'm being for real. I'm being a nice guy."
I can't tell anymore, y'all. I thought I did. I can't tell. I can't tell.
That's how it is. That's just I don't know. I've always been like that. Even with I'm very straightforward with my mom too. My mom is straightforward. She wanted, when I was living in New York, I had my own apartment, and she came to visit, and she goes, "Oh, I could move back to New York. We could get a 2-bedroom apartment." I'm like, "No. Why would we do that? Why would we do that again? I don't want to live with you, Mom." She goes, "Why?" I said, "I'd rather pay high rent than live with you or anyone." That's how I am. I don't want to live with my mom. I love my mother, but I don't like living with people too much. One time I was texting.
Like people, y'all. He doesn't.
I was texting, and she goes, "Oh my God, Johnny, you're always texting. Who you're texting?" I'm like, "Mom, how much is my phone bill?" She goes, I don't know. I said, don't worry about who I'm texting. Like, you're not paying for it.
You told your
Mom.
mom that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's growing up, I've always been like this. As a teenager, I was very like this. I was sarcastic, witty, snarky. I've always been like this, you know. It's just who I am. But guys, I hope you're impressed.
No, your chat, obviously they can't. Chat to Johnny's chat, thank you all so much for coming by. Look at all the East Coast people being like, yeah, I feel that, man. Like that's exactly how I go to start
Yeah.
the get in, get out movement.
It's
Maybe
simple. It's
maybe
easy.
that's already a movement.
It is a movement.
Different thing.
It
Get
is
in.
a movement.
It is.
That's why I rolled my eyes when I saw the line for the pre-orders at GameStop for the Nintendo Switch. I was just like, damn it, they're gonna talk to me.
I gotta be human again.
I gotta be human. I'm just, how can I be nice? How do I do this? Sometimes when we go in public, Yanni's like, Johnny, can you try to be a little nice to people? I was like, I am nice to people. I'm always nice to people. She goes, yes, but can you just like show it?
This is a very like, I've learned so much about like dudes in bathrooms. I've learned about like history of gaming. You've given me stuff, and now I get it. Now I get this New York thing. Like you all, New York, and y'all know who you are in chat. All you Boston type simpleton, New Yorkers. Rouster's cool. He's a reformist. He lives in Jersey now. But you all actually think you're being nice, but everybody else is like, this dude's a jerk.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've gotten, oh, he's a jerk, he's an asshole, he's a douchebag.
Yeah,
all this.
Like,
that's why I make that joke a lot on my streams. I'm like, oh, here I am with my douchey face.
Oh my god.
That's what I say. Oh, here I am. This is me.
Oh my goodness. I feel so much about like
it's true. That's how it is. I don't know. That's how I grew up in New York, and down here, I'm not gonna change who I am. This is who I am. I am actually, I do care for people. I do.
Yeah, you just show it differently.
I show it very, very differently.
Yeah,
very
you're
differently.
just like I think the thing about it, I have a story about this. I know we're about to wrap up here in a second, but it reminds me. This week I have another story. Wednesday I took the bus back from Port Authority to where I live. Just because I forget why I had it. I forget why it was, but I took the train in and I took the bus back, and I took the bus that was the local bus. So it wasn't the express straight to my town. It was the local. So I was on a bus like probably an hour, 30 minutes. Like it was a while, but I didn't care. I was like, I was getting work done. I was like calling people. It was actually kind of enjoyable. Well, lo and behold, I'm the last person on the bus. Okay. The bus driver says, hey, you, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to the place on the ticket. He's like, well, why'd you take this bus? He's like yelling at me. And he tells me to get up there by him. Like I feel like a little kid, right? And he's like, why are you taking? And so I was like, oh, did I get on the wrong bus? He's like, no, but this is the local. And he's like really upset with me. And he's like, well, if I had saw that on your ticket, I would have told you not to get on this bus. I was like, you did see my ticket. Why are you getting mad at me? Like, but he's saying in his mind, because he told me this. I literally said, sir, why are you getting mad at me? It is my time and I'm enjoying the bus ride. Well, you're wasting your time. And it's like his meanness with this guy. And it's just like this going back and forth for like 5 minutes. But this entire time, he's like, no, I'm being friendly to you because I'm telling you, you're wasting your fucking time. And I'm just there like, what is going on here? Like, because in my mind, I'm like, well, sir, could you have gone back earlier if you didn't have to go to the last stop where I'm at? He's like, no, I still have to go back to the last stop. So I'm like, why are you mad? I'm not mad, ma'am. Like this entire time.
It's confusing.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, Purple, he did you a solid.
He
Like,
did.
that's your best friend. No, this was not my best friend. I left, like, he's mad at me. He's pissed off because I'm spending my time on his bus having to do what he has to drive over there anyway.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I've been here like the last 11 years. I don't get it, but you obviously do. Get in, get out.
Get in, get out. It's that simple.
Mispronounced cheese, prosciutto, whatever it was that you said, like
Mozzarella.
mozzarella, Mario. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, welcome to this world.
I'm just there like enjoying the towns because a bunch of the really cute towns. I'm like, oh, this is super cute. And then he's like, then I get this dude, and he's like, I guess. But again, I'm from Texas. I guess it's a thing.
We went to Florida Disney World a few years back. And they stay in character. They're always in their character. We went to the Star Wars land and all that. And I had fun in Star Wars. I do like Star Wars. But they're in character. Yeah. And they want to take a picture, whatever. We're about to take a picture. And the guy is talking to me in this Star Wars dialect. And I'm trying to talk to him in English. Like, I'm actually asking a question. Like, I'm like, hey, how much does this cost? Like, how many pictures? What do we do? And he's talking. And he's saying it in this language where it's like it's English, but it's not English. And he says something like he doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. And I go, "Are you understanding what? Hello? Like, I just want a simple question. That's all I wanted." And then we went into this ride where it's it's like a 6-seater, and you're pretending like you're controlling things, and the people are like, okay, this is very serious. The Galactic Empire is gonna get us. So you two in the front are the pilots, you two are the gunners, and you two are the engine individuals. The ones that control the engines. And I'm just listening to this, and everyone, even the other guests, I don't know who these people are. They were with us, and they're like so excited. And I'm just sitting there, like standing there, listening to him. And then the woman turns around. I don't know this woman. She turns around to me and she goes, "Oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. So just shooting." And I looked at her and I go, "I don't think this is real." She's just,
oh my goodness. Why are you there? Why are you there?
And I'm just like, nothing's going to happen.
Star Wars thing. You are like Debbie Downer. Let me like crap over. Like you're like, you realize this is fake. Like you realize this. And then you're like going to the Star Wars dude whose job it is. This dude had to learn a Star Wars accent to work there. And you're like, dude, stop effing talking like you're from another galaxy. Like I'm trying, like
seriously. That's how I felt.
There's not a Disney World in New York, y'all. Y'all have just now found out that this doesn't work for these guys.
It doesn't work. We bought a $30 bubble machine for our daughter, a bubble gun, $30. And in those little the refills were like $15, and they're small. And I looked at the guy and I go, "How much are the refills?" He goes, "Like $15. I go, $15? And he goes, "But they're magical." I go, "No, they're not." What are you talking about? I'm going to go on Amazon and I'll order a whole pack for $15.
Oh my goodness.
There's nothing magical about these bubbles. You know what's magic? My money disappearing in this magical land of yours.
Oh my goodness. Why are you here? Why are you what what? Like this is y'all, I hope you're understanding like the things about society. There's so much we're talking about right now that this explains like here you voluntarily went there knowing what this is. Let me just explain a different point of view of it. Mm-hmm. You voluntarily went there knowing what this is, and then you get upset because you're there and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not normal over there.
No, but
I'm dead serious.
You voluntarily went there.
Yeah, I know. It was the biggest regret of my life. I see my daughter all happy and excited.
You're the type that gives 2 stars to like a thing. You're like, food was horrible. Bad day, it was rainy, but the thing about it is they're in these costumes and talk really funny, like 2 stars. And it's like
2 stars. They wanted we went back to the hotel because we were there all day, and then they do the fireworks late at night, like at 11 o'clock at night. We went back to the hotel, and I was exhausted. Like I was just exhausted. And Yanni's like, "Oh, let's go back for the fireworks." And I just looked at her and I said, "Are you serious right now? Like we're gonna go back for the?" I said, "We can't see it from our hotel room." And she's like, "No, it's a different experience while you're there." And I'm like, "I don't want to go." Like I didn't want, and she didn't force me. She knew how tired I was, so she didn't. She went. She went.
He's not an experienced guy, y'all. He's not.
I'm not. You know where I would like to go? Universal Studios. There, I know I would have a good time. I would love to go to Universal Studios. That I would like to. But yeah, I know. I know. I grew up differently.
I'm glad that's where we got. I'm glad that's where we're landing. Is this acknowledgement?
I grew up playing video games. I grew up playing sports. I didn't care about, oh my God, look at how beautiful the mountains are. I don't care about that. Like for me, it's just like, yeah, that's really nice. Like it's amazing. We want to go to the Grand Canyon. We're making plans to go to the Grand Canyon.
No, I don't. Let me save you. Do not go. Everybody else, you should go. But this is to Johnny. Do not go. Because I feel like you're going to get there and you're going to be like, it's a hole. What the F? It's a hole.
Yeah, like when it was first brought to my attention, I'm like, couldn't we just Google it and just see it on?
See, that's why you're going to go and you're just going to be like,
it's exactly the same thing. We're going to take pictures. I'm going to take a picture of it and I'm going to compare it to it on Google. And I'm going to say, this is exactly the same picture that we took. We could have just printed it out and Photoshop ourselves standing there with smiling faces. Photoshop a smiley face on my face.
I love it. But you're going to go. So you're going to go.
I'm going to go. We're going to go. We're going to go. I do want to go to Arizona because the Tombstone is over there. Tombstone, Arizona. The town Tombstone. It was yeah. Which, by the way, is my favorite movie. Tombstone is my favorite movie. So I'm a huge Western fan.
Tombstone's your favorite movie.
Mm-hmm. I love Tombstone. Yeah.
We've had conversations on here about Westerns and Tombstone.
Mm-hmm. The one with Val Kilmer.
Overall, like The Man with No Name, over like the newer Quentin Tarantino ones. Tombstone.
Yep. Tombstone. Just the story behind it, the acting, just the way it was. Like Val Kilmer stole the show in that movie. I thought he was so good in that movie. That's my favorite movie.
Right? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Val Kilmer's no longer with us.
My favorite movie, Tombstone. And then the one I liked after that was Magnificent Seven, the most recent one with Denzel Washington, Chris something, one of the Chris's. And then there's 3:10 to Yuma with Russell Crowe, Christian Bale. That's the one I like. I like Western movies. True Grit.
You like True Grit?
I like True Grit. I like Western movies.
But these are all like newer. Tombstone's older, but
Tombstone's very old. Yeah,
it's interesting. You didn't name any of like the classics.
No, I do like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with Clint Eastwood. It's just I feel like they were all kind of the same, but The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was really good. There was something called Money.
But there's a few dollars more. The Fistful of Dollars.
Fistful of Dollars.
Fistful of
Dollars. Yeah, I like that one. Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid. I like that movie. Well, there's a few movies I like. I like Westerns.
It's so interesting. Like you're an interesting type. You're like very like straightforward, but then you like Western. But maybe there is something there.
Yeah, there is something there.
Maybe there is something there because usually the protagonists in Westerns are very like, this like very stereotype of I don't know. Growing up in Texas, like I don't know. I think the movie portrayal of cowboys is very different than the real portrayal.
I could imagine. But that's my first foray. I can't say words. It was Tombstone, and when I saw that as a kid, and I just loved it. And it's my favorite movie. I don't know why. It's my favorite movie.
So favorite movie is Tombstone. Favorite video game of all time is
Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love how like there's been several times in your gaming history that you like you have hated something only to come to like it,
Mhm.
or you have told yourself not that you wouldn't do it only to come around to actually doing it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's other parts in your life where you will do that again,
I
like
think they will be.
apple picking and
Yeah.
Disney World.
There will be. There will be.
He has to put on this thing for himself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yes. That's who I am. This is what I do.
This is
I'm a streamer. I'm a content creator. I'm an entertainer. You come to my streams, you will be educated. You'll be educated with many things.
but I
Some of
don't know.
it may not
Well,
make sense, but you'll later on you'll be going about your day and you'll be like, oh my god, Johnny said this thing. Now that I think about it, he might be right.
so I think and we're Johnny, we're I know we've held you long in chat. Thanks for staying with us for a while.
Hmm.
But I think we've seen it. Like, we just don't know. Did we get Johnny Roadkill
You don't know.
or the real Johnny? We know we'll never
You'll
know.
never know.
We know there's two people here though. We know there's two.
Hmm.
You told us that. You said there's like a little mixture of you here and a little mixture of you here.
Hmm. Yeah, you
We
don't know who you
we
got
don't
today.
know which one we got. You don't know. You don't know.
No.
But Johnny, let people know where they can find you. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You'll find me on YouTube at Johnny_Roadkill. Um, that's my handle. And I stream Monday through Friday every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Monday nights and Friday nights around 9:30 p.m. Eastern. I also stream on TikTok now, and it's the same Johnny_Roadkill, same logo and everything like that. I saw one of your modders put it in the chat. I do
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank
Rouser,
you.
thank you. Rouser's on the Johnny on the he's
Yeah.
Johnny on the so many Johnnies today. Johnny Roadkill,
Hmm.
Johnny 5, Johnny Quest,
Johnny
Johnny on the
Bravo.
spot, Johnny Appleseed, This was a Johnny stream.
Yeah. But I had fun.
No,
Thank you. I do appreciate this. I did have fun with this.
no. Thanks for coming by. We hadn't done an interview in a while, and you do need to play Black Myth Wukong. I saw that sneaky snake.
Yeah, I have that one. That's one that is those games. I am not good at them.
It's not a Souls game, it's hack and slash. Whatever.
I will go back to it. I will go back to it.
It's not everyone's game. But thank you so much. And for everybody else, I will be streaming tomorrow. Rouster, if I'm not mistaken, you will not be here for Oryx, but y'all, I may be trying to get through South of Midnight tomorrow. Try to beat that one on stream. And then Sunday, I'm out of town. So I'm out of town, but I will be back for next week's stream. I have a couple of videos I'll be launching in the meantime. But with that said, any last words, Johnny, before I close this one down, and then we can talk backstage here in a second.
I don't the only thing I can say is just be yourself, be true to yourself, stay humble. That's one thing that gets me through life, is just try to stay humble even when things are going your way and things are improving in your life. Always be humble. Bring yourself back down a little bit, because no one is beneath us. We're all the same, in my opinion. We're just at different levels. That's all it is. But always be humble in your life. That's what I tell people. Be true to yourself.
Cool. And for everybody else, I will be streaming tomorrow in the day, and then we will be playing Orcs at night. I just saw that roster. All right, so we got that. And be yourself, y'all. And like I always say, I don't care where you game, how you game, why you game, what you game on, how long you've been gaming. As long as you're gaming, it's key. As long as you're gaming, you're good with me. And as always, this is Purple Haze, and the proof is in the plane. All right, thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny's community, and thank you, the Purple community. As always, y'all come through. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, cool little music.